All right, so what are you making us first?
So I like to start with the cheapest ingredients first, and we want the tops to come off easily after making our drinks.
Oh, you even come with your own bartender towel.
I even come with my own towel.
Mitch, do you watch Love is Blind?
Oh, I was waiting for that question. I feel like it's not enough booze. Next ingredient is love, which is not FDA approved.
Miles Teller shirtless. Yes, yes.
Look at that creamy froth. Just the way I said that felt weird. I used to bartend at this place that hosted swinger parties. What is Feet Finder?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Meko, the official. Clap is where it's at.
All right.
Not the clap.
I mean,
Meko, the official. Clap is where it's at.
All right.
Not the clap.
I mean,
Please no.
no, okay,
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing.
We are super excited because we have a guest bartender.
We're
So
just like
exciting.
Andy Cohen.
Yeah. But it's
With-
even better because we have Mitch.
Mitch, who's way better. This is Mitch Doty, everyone.
Yes.
He is a bartender at Vidu restaurant in Midland.
But you're more than just a
You're
bartender. You're like a cocktail savant.
Yeah. How would you describe yourself?
exactly that.
Cocktail savant.
Cocktail savant that's what my business cards say even, just,
I love it.
Perfect.
yeah.
Would you consider yourself a mixologist or a bartender?
It depends on who I'm talking to.
Okay.
So if I'm trying to get a job and it's an interview, it's a mixologist.
Yeah.
But to the general public, I prefer bartender.
Yeah.
Because I think that the biggest part about the job is tending the whole bar, dealing with the
Yes.
guests. You know, it's all about curating a guest experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do that
Every single time
yes,
we're there.
Like
Yeah.
none other.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you making us first? Because normally we already have our wine in hand.
Yes,
So,
I know. I'm keeping you sober longer than you like.
yes.
That's okay.
So first, we are going to do something that's going to be fun that we can do at home as well.
Okay.
Okay,
A little
perfect.
bit more. So I've got some super fine granulated sugar right here, or powdered sugar, I mean, that
Okay.
I use for baking, and we're going to make some homemade grenadine.
Okay.
So a lot of people think of grenadine as like the roses bottle that tastes like
Yeah.
cherries.
Yeah.
Grenadine's actually pomegranate.
Okay.
So we're going to use 100% pomegranate juice, and we're going to mix equal parts. This is approximately equal.
Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
it doesn't have to be exact when we're drinking it here on the set. But
Okay.
So we're going to
We
take.
trust you.
Oh, thank you. I don't. But
Oh my God, I feel like I'm in 8th grade
Like
biology,
science class?
science,
Yeah.
chemistry. I mean,
oh, we forgot our safety goggles.
I
Yeah.
know.
Oh no.
I love it.
So we're going to just add a little bit of this in
Oh,
here.
you add it.
Yeah.
So you add liquid to dry. You wouldn't
Yeah.
go the opposite.
But it's quick dissolving sugar.
Yeah, it's quick dissolving. And the reason I'm doing that is because usually if you try to like mix with the funnel first and you put the liquid in, you try to put the sugar, it's going to be stuck in the funnel.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
So this way, we're going to go sugar first. Plus, I like the way the little colors look like that.
It looks very cool.
I'm all about aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it. I dig it.
Thank you, thank you. And then we're just going to do one of these little things right here. Seal it up. You want to leave a little bit of space so the sugar can eventually go down. And I say eventually, this could take a couple days.
Okay.
No,
Seriously?
no, no.
Oh,
You know, we're going to be here for a while. I hope, I
my
hope you brought
Siri just
snacks.
went off. She just got excited. So that's powdered sugar?
Yeah, it's going to be like a quick dissolve sugar.
Okay.
Like you can buy this in like the baking section.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not going to be as coarse as like granulated sugar and other sugars. So you don't need heat to dissolve this.
Okay,
Like you're
got
making
it.
simple syrup,
Okay.
stuff like that at home. This is something that we can just do
Oh, no kidding.
just like this.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
So
Okay.
now this is pretty much just about grenadine. We got most of the sugar
Can
dissolved.
you imagine drinking that? Just that?
Oh, yeah, it's
You'd
it's,
have the
it's
biggest
good.
stomachache.
It's good. Just take a little sip.
No,
you know?
I think you and I sampled that one time when we were at Vidu, his homemade
Oh, yeah.
grenadine.
Yeah,
was it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's
Yeah.
pretty much yeah.
It's sweet.
It is sweet. It's a lot
Literally.
Of, yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll notice it seems like a lot of sugar. And we were kind
Yeah.
of discussing this before. Like,
Yeah.
Like the sugar, it seems intimidating. We're going to use a little bit of a time, but it helps add more viscosity to the drink as well. So that way
Okay.
you're getting a little bit more of a mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are you making us first?
So this is a variation of something called the Mexican Firing Squad.
Okay.
So everybody makes it a little bit differently. A lot of times it'll have ginger beer and ginger in it, soda, but I like to make it more of just a drinkable,
Okay.
not so fizzy kind of drink. So we're going to start with our aromatic bitters.
Okay.
So I like to start with the cheapest ingredients first.
Okay.
'Cause
So
you-
drowns it out.
No, because if you mess it up, you're not wasting all your money on the good.
Got it.
On the good tequila,
that's such
Good
a
stuff
good
like that. Yeah.
point.
Yeah, because if you put in the
Okay.
cheapest thing, last,
Last.
and you mess it up, and you're like, oh no, I gotta start over, and it,
Oh,
Great
I'm
point.
never
Okay.
gonna financially recover from this. So we're just gonna do 2 dashes, but this is a new bottle, so 3.
Okay.
You'll notice it dashes a little bit differently as you use it and it goes down. So 2
Interesting.
dashes of bitters. We're going to use 0.75, so 3/4 of an ounce. You'll notice I got it right to that line right in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's little lines in here.
Okay, and then what's that fancy little gadget you're using
So this
again?
is called a jigger.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is a Japanese style jigger.
Okay.
So the Japanese don't mess around with their bar tools and their bar game.
I guess
Okay.
not.
I mean, I would have called it the shot pourer thingy, but jigger. I mean,
Jigger.
Yeah, I mean, you could find it on
Such a
Amazon just like
random name.
that.
Yeah. And the difference is it's skinnier.
It is. It is.
Okay, what's that?
So this is freshly squeezed lime juice.
Okay.
So we're going to do 0.75 ounces of that as well.
Okay.
How many limes did it take to get all of that in there?
All of this was about,
I brought 8.
you bought 8, so this was about 6.
Okay.
So depending on the limes and how big, you can get about half an ounce to an ounce per lime of juice.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's really fun though too, if you're doing it at home and you want to peel the skin off after you wash it really good.
Oh, yeah.
You can make a really good lime syrup out of the peels
Oh.
Wow.
by taking equal parts weight of the lime.
See, that's
And
why
Very
you
cool.
need to
This is
have
sugar.
like the bar, like the
You need a bartender school.
bartender school. You need a book. You need an app. You need a bartending app,
That's what I'm saying.
right?
Yeah, but then nobody would come to you.
Well, probably.
Also, I would
You know,
never do
it's
this
like-
shit at
that's
home.
Yeah.
that's the same as saying like if I bought a cookbook, I'd never go to a restaurant. Like I'm still going to a restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think you'd want to do it at home every once in a while. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just for fun, you
Yeah.
know, funsies.
No,
Like,
it
try it
is
out.
fun, but a lot of times, I told you this before, I don't make cocktails at home because
Yeah.
it's messy.
Oh, it
because
is.
I want a good cocktail. It's not, vodka soda, that's easy peasy. But,
Right.
if you're really going to make something awesome, that has to be like shake it and all that kind of stuff.
And you've got to just sit there and do all the prep work.
Yes.
And you'll see how I put like the juice in this bottle. Like
Yeah.
you really don't have to do that if you're just making yourself a couple.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can just kind of eyeball it if it's for yourself. You're not trying
Right.
to, be exact.
Right.
But for me, I like to be as precise as I can to replicate that flavor. But yeah, you can just cut the limes in half.
So,
Okay.
how
Squeeze.
long would the lime juice in that container stay good?
Good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go past 3 days.
Oh, but 3 days.
3 days max, because at day 3 you're gonna notice the difference.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, there's different schools of thought. Some people think that you have to use it in 6 hours,
Okay.
and there's also some bartenders that say it's best the next day. So all depends
Interesting.
on flavor and who you're reading.
Who you're
Okay,
basically.
yeah.
Okay. So what's the next?
So the next one is going to be tequila.
Okay.
Tequila.
Silver tequila. Right now we're using the Flecha Azul.
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg.
It is Mark Wahlberg's tequila. I normally don't go for celebrity tequila, but I have to say it's pretty darn smooth.
I mean, when you get those good vibrations.
I know.
Marky
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, but what
So-
was that tequila you had us try at Viju one time that was crazy smooth? That Blanco
Oh,
tequila.
yeah, that was Mi Genta.
Yes,
Yeah, Mi
that
Genta.
was good.
Yeah, and
So-
Mi Genta, they go like full maturity with the agave plants. So
Okay.
you don't have any extra added sugars and stuff. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's really good. And I like good Blanco tequilas and drinks like this because with Reposados and Añejos are good, but it just really smooths it out,
Yeah.
and just
Sometimes they can add an extra sweetness or like nutty flavor.
yeah. And this is just kind of nice and crisp.
Yeah.
So that's what we're aiming for. So right now we are going
Lovely.
to take, this is going to be 2 ounces. So I could easily flip this jigger around and use the other side, which is 2 ounces. But just to save the mess of
Yeah.
it dripping down, I'm just going
Yeah.
to use the same size and do it twice.
You are the neatest bartender. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
Cocktail maker I've ever
cocktail maker,
experienced.
cocktail savant.
Yes, a
Yeah,
cocktail
yeah.
savant.
Yeah.
That is what you are.
Sweet.
Well, it's just because like I have to be neat because I wear too nice of clothes while
Yeah,
I'm tending
you do.
bar.
You
You
do.
know what I mean?
You
So
do.
it's
You
just
always,
I'm
Mitch always
too
looks this
extra.
nice when he's bartending.
I know
too.
if you're listening and you never ever watched, Mitch has on a herringbone blazer, which is very nice. A
fedora.
Yes. And a curated handlebar. Would you call that a
Yeah,
handlebar?
yeah, handlebar mustache. Yeah.
Yes. Like he's gonna get ready to do like a barbershop quartet.
100%.
That's my side gig.
Yes.
Yeah.
And an
Hello.
ascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Thank you,
He
thank you.
dresses to
Always
the nines.
dapper.
Always.
Yes.
Always. Always.
Appreciate it. All right, so now we have all of our liquid in one tin. We're gonna put ice in the other tin.
okay.
And get some ice in our glass here. So I'm gonna step offside here for a second.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a couple of these here.
I'm so excited.
I'm using a scoop because I'm not gonna bare hand
Yeah.
them for you.
We wouldn't care.
But if you're doing it at home, you don't need an ice scoop. If you
Right.
just want to reach in and you
Yeah.
know, just wash your hands first. Cleanliness we want to avoid.
right.
Germs.
Okay, and then
Good
explain
try.
to us why a bartender uses the two silver cups as opposed to like when you buy a cocktail shaker, you know, at a home and goods store.
Oh yeah, I mean there's some people that use the ones at the home goods store.
Yeah.
But essentially what we're using here are the tin-on-tin Boston shakers. So you know the big old pint glasses you see when you go to sports bars?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's actually originally meant to be this thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was used for shakers well before like draft beer became really popular to pour in those.
Interesting.
But once draft beer became popular, all
Yeah.
the bars had these laying around and they started using those.
Okay.
So but for me, instead of using the big glass ones, I like using this because you can slam it around without having to
Yeah,
worry
you
about
have to
breaking
worry
it.
about
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like to use this though, as opposed to you said the cobble one, because when you do shake it, sometimes it can be really hard
Oh.
to peel
Yeah.
that off. So
All
you're
every
busy,
time.
you're stuck. You make the drink,
And then
it's
you
done.
spill everywhere when you're trying to get the top off.
And then you give up
It's
and you put it by your sink and it doesn't get washed for 3 or 4 days because
Yeah.
you're just
and
like,
then it sticks to your sink.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll deal with that later. At least that's what I do. So.
Well, like espresso martinis, like I have a thin one.
Okay.
They get super, super cold, and I shake it until I almost feel like I'm going to get frostbite on my fingers.
Yeah.
But then it's really hard to take the top off.
Yes.
It
So-
almost hermetically seals.
Yes.
And we want
top.
the tops to come off easily.
Yes.
Right.
You know, after making our drinks. So,
Of our drinks and at home.
so I'll let you go there. So now I've got ice in this.
Okay.
Do about like halfway full of ice. And what we're gonna do is very carefully mix these together like this.
Okay.
See, I got one little drop right
Not
there.
worried about
It's
it.
okay.
I have napkins.
It's okay.
Perfect. Oh, you even come with your own bartender towel.
I even come with my own towel. I don't want to mess up the studio. So now that I got it in there, I'm gonna start slowly shaking it first.
Okay.
Keep them both, but now it's getting cold. It's gonna start creating a seal because metal contracts as you shake, right? So now
God. This is like Mr. Breck's science class.
you'll notice I got 2 fingers on one,
Look
2
how
fingers
cold,
on the
look
other.
how cold
Okay.
that is.
Oh yeah.
I know.
We're going back and forth, back and forth. What that's doing is adding air into the mixture and it's chilling it. So
Okay.
after a while, it's gonna hit equilibrium. You're gonna see it chilling up like this. I like to shake one hand, kind of like you're throwing a football.
Yeah.
Okay.
This way you don't pull a
Do you
muscle.
use it as shake weight?
This is just like a shake weight. We got
Do
those
you,
commercials.
do you switch arms? So
Yeah.
that
Oh
they're-
yeah, you can do it. You can do it both.
No, I
Especially
mean
when you get
just
both.
for your muscles.
I
shouldn't.
So
No,
you, so
no,
you
for-
don't
for
like
sure.
so you don't like overdo one bicep over the other.
Yeah. That way, you know. Then I'll do it with my legs, so I don't.
Yeah,
skip leg
exactly.
day. I'll just start
There you go.
shaking. No, I do once in a while, especially when we're doing egg whites and cocktails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
really have to shake
sometimes,
it.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's a cocktail we're not gonna make today.
Okay.
The Ramos Gin Fizz. That takes about like 6 minutes to make.
no way.
Yeah.
Do you guys make those at Vido?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. There's one ingredient we don't have, and I refuse to get it just so I can't make it.
Got
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
And what ingredient is that? That's so
I'm
important.
not gonna tell you because you're gonna bring it in.
Oh.
No, it's.
No.
I'm not a
You
gin
can tell us
teaser,
off.
I'm
so it's
teasing.
okay.
I'm
You
teasing.
can tell us off.
Orange blossom water.
Oh.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't. Yeah, I normally don't have that on hand.
Yeah. Most people don't just have it laying around their
Yeah.
their house. So now I've got that all shaken. I'm gonna grab Hawthorne strainer like this.
Oh, that's what that's called.
Yeah, Hawthorne strainer. You see, you got these little holes.
Yes.
So what this is this is a gate. You can open the gate, close the
What?
gate. So if you're reading any kind of recipe and it's like do it with a closed gate or open gate, this
Okay.
is what they
Okay.
mean. And so we're just gonna
Open the gate.
yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh, just like Frozen.
And then let it go.
Well, it's a beautiful, like, pinky color.
Yeah. And that's from the homemade
yeah.
grenadine.
Yeah.
And that way it's not going to be as overly sweet. Like that
Okay.
high fructose corn syrup you'll have like
Yeah.
from store-bought and grenadine.
Yeah.
Gives it a different flavor profile. And I brought something that I had made already because this takes 21 hours. So for funsies,
dehydrated lime.
dehydrated
Don't you
limes.
have a dehydrator?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you could do that.
So yeah, so you just cut them really thin, dehydrate them at about 130 for about 20 hours.
Okay. No, so I
20
have one,
hours.
and I had this grand idea that I was gonna slice oranges and then string them and put them on my Christmas tree. But then I realized how many oranges I really had to do that with. So now I just have a bowl of dehydrated oranges.
Also,
And,
the
like,
slicing.
it was so much work.
Wow.
But I think I saw
give this to
something on
Katie.
Pinterest. And
this for
got
Katie?
excited.
It's for whoever.
Oh, this is
both.
delish. Cheers.
Cheers.
You have to try it.
Okay.
Oh, that is actually really good. And I couldn't have a lot of them, but it is a great starter cocktail. I want to
like-
be on a beach
Yes.
or by a pool. I would love to be at a swim up bar.
Yeah. This is definitely when you get off the car or taxi onto your resort or someone greets you, the
Yes.
concierge comes out with a tray of these and you are
Yeah.
like, yes, this is a day well spent traveling to get
Yes,
this.
absolutely. Wow, that's really good. Do you make these at Vidu?
Yeah, yeah, I can
Okay.
make those.
All
Nice.
right. Well, when it's hot out, that's
But
what
it's
it would be.
yeah, it's a really good just summer drink, and I figured with the weather starting to finally get a little bit warmer,
Yeah.
you know, we're getting closer to the
To
you know,
the
good-
spring action.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's this called again?
Mexican firing
Mexican
squad.
fire.
Mexican firing
Yeah.
squad.
I love
And a lot
it.
of recipes will call for like, you know, top it off with a little bit of ginger beer, which does add some effervescence to it.
Yeah.
And some refreshing, but I like it just like that. 'cause
Yes,
it's
I do
just-
too. That's really good.
Could you do a squirt of soda water?
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, just
Yeah, and some recipes call for that too.
Okay.
So there's a few variations. Just like a lot of cocktails have multiple ways to make it.
Yeah.
Like the old fashioned, right?
Yeah.
That's why if somebody comes up to me and just asks for an old fashioned, I'm going to ask them 10 questions after that. Like,
Sure. Okay.
Right.
Got it. All right. So, Mitch.
Yes.
How did you get into bartending?
Well, I got into bartending because I needed to make money.
Yes.
Essentially, no, what really got me into it is I grew up around it. My mom was a bartender. My dad was in construction. And I started doing drywall with my dad on the side on the weekends when I was like 10 to 18.
Okay.
Gosh.
And my mom would come home from work and she would be making more money than I was doing drywall. And it kind of lined up with also being a musician. So I was playing in bars a lot, starting from the age of 16 and going through it. So once I turned 18, I got into food and beverage, and you know, I just kept getting, you know, better at what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, you definitely excel at your craft.
Thank you.
For sure.
I like how you're always honing in
Yes.
on what you want to do and improving. It's awesome.
Yeah. Mitch, do you watch Love is Blind?
Oh, I was waiting for that question. So I was trying to do my homework.
Yes.
I was watching
You were?
What season?
the newest one.
Okay, season 8.
Yeah,
perfect.
the newest one. I didn't get way too far. I got an episode in.
Okay.
I was having a hard time keeping track of which character was which.
Okay, is it because they all look like the one person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what Minnesota does in their water, but all of their people look exactly the same. I mean, the men.
Yeah.
Or the men they chose.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that the people out there on
people on the
Instagram,
pages.
yeah, are complaining because the casting was so just vanilla and boring.
Yes. The best meme out there was, "Hey ChatGPT, can you make me a man from Minnesota who likes to have his chicken unseasoned?"
Yes.
And make them all look the same except change their shirt. And then it had all of the white dudes from Love is
Exactly.
Blind like in this meme. So
I sent Kelsey a picture of, you know, the Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
You know, around Halloween time, it says like, it's a parody basically on a costume you could buy at the Halloween store. And there's one for Love is Blind. I think it's a shirt or something, isn't it? She's probably going to put
Are you
it up
pulling
soon.
it up?
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think?
Well, I mean, that's the first time I ever watched it, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, right? So just listening to the premises, they're explaining it in the beginning, and just like I like the aesthetics. I thought like the house looked pretty cool.
Do you think Love is Blind?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not
Right.
Me and my wife were even talking about that this morning because I was making her watch it with me.
Perfect.
I'm sure she was thrilled.
And she's
It's
like,
kind of a group activity.
Yeah.
Like you're not into it, but then all of a sudden you find you and your spouse talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of want to watch the next episode. And then it's one of those things where it's like, well, I have to go. Don't watch the next episode without
we
me.
have to discuss it.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody is pretty attractive too. So
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm not with them for the looks, but you have a safe bet that they are. I thought
Because
it'd be
they're
more
going to
fun
be
if
on
they-
TV.
Of
So you got to
course.
think they're not going to cast a troll.
Oh, you got. I think
Or
there should at
maybe
least
they
be
will.
2 trolls, right?
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean? I
don't
mean-
disagree. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Is love truly blind? Then you'll know.
Then you'll know.
Right.
So because you haven't
end up
gotten
with
that
the
far
fatty
yet,
and then
but then after they propose, right,
Okay.
there's a big reveal. Oh, that's perfect. David, Love is Blind season 8. It includes an overprotective sister, a hobo department, and One Direction t-shirts. Note, insecurity included. That is funny.
One
That's
size
hysterical.
fits most.
So I don't know if you got this part on Dave yet. Dave is obsessed with his sister's opinion. And it's starting to really
why.
drive me nuts. No.
His mom died.
Okay, well then that's really sad.
Yeah. So she's sort of his surrogate mom.
Okay. Have you watched the episode where you meet her?
Not yet.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not out.
No, I haven't seen it
No,
either.
no,
so.
no. It's not out yet.
Okay,
They
I'm not
haven't
fully
met.
caught up.
Okay.
But I did see the episode where they finally go to his apartment.
Yes.
So he's lived there over a year, not a single picture on the wall. Very, and it's fine, nice furniture, minimal. But his closet is nothing but One Direction t-shirts. And that's kind of it. Like, a lot of One Direction t-shirts.
Yeah.
This is just kind of odd.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you don't want to look at my closet because it's pretty much mostly just One Direction pajamas. It's weird, but no.
I do have to say, I think guys, I don't know, Mitch, you can tell us.
Okay.
When you're single, you don't really decorate.
No.
I mean, I would disagree.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
because so my house is mostly decorated by me, and everybody
Really?
always wants to give my wife the credit.
You're kind of an aesthetic kind of guy.
I am.
Yeah, you
I am.
You're
I
an
like-
exception.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
I can't say I'm, so, but I get the appeal of just being minimal though.
Yeah.
If you're just
Especially if you're renting and you can't put holes in your walls.
right, and you're just like, you know what? I'm only going to work. I'm only going here. I'm at
Yeah.
home for a minute. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah.
to go to a One Direction concert after this.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. So I won't judge
So
him for that.
when
But he's
you were
whiny.
when you were dating Randy and you flew out to Philly for the first time, was his apartment decorated?
No,
Really?
not really. He lived in a condo that he owned
Yeah.
in a brownstone. It was beautiful architecture. It was old. It was a place I eventually moved into. And it wasn't really I mean, it was, but it was from his first marriage. It was like old furniture from his first marriage.
Yeah.
Which we promptly got rid of.
Didn't you
when
say it
I
was like
moved in.
green leather?
It was green leather. R.I.P.
I'm not really sure what his wife was thinking with green leather.
They bought it together. I don't
Okay.
know.
Interesting.
I'm not judging. I just got rid of it.
See, you blame the wife, but it was probably Randy.
It might have been him.
You know what I mean?
It might have
Like,
been
it definitely
Love
wasn't
this
me.
green
It might have been him. But there were a couple of golf pictures, I think, and then that was it. Nothing else.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I don't think
Okay.
decor really tells you about the guy, although he is douchebag number one of the show.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I really hope they don't end up
And
together.
he just cannot let go of the whole fact that, what is the girl's name? Lauren.
Yes.
That Lauren had a date prior to them going on the show. Who cares?
And randomly, I guess in like Minneapolis or wherever they're at, his friends kind of know who this guy is, so it creeps
Same
him
friend
out.
group.
Which, whatever. But you didn't even know her then. That's like me getting mad about a girl that Chris dated in high school. That's stupid.
It is way stupid.
Yeah,
So-
it's just like insecure.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
insecure.
Like,
And he keeps bringing it up. It's truly the definition of insanity.
yeah.
Doing the
yeah.
same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. He is doing the
Right.
same thing over and over, and she keeps so
And
frustrated.
she starts crying, and I'm like, girl, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
She's doing it wrong. She's got to just start gaslighting him. Like, I never did that. It never
Yeah.
happened. You made it up.
What do you mean?
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So, no, she's a sweet girl. Like, she sells social study curriculums to schools. Like she's so nice.
sweet.
Which one is she?
She's mousy. She is. She's mousy.
I mean,
she's cute,
I
but
don't
she's
know their
like
names yet. It's
her name's
just like,
Lauren.
No, it,
She's
it takes a while to catch on to names.
I don't know. I feel like she could grow a set. I mean, but they're all young too, so you have to remember that this is probably some of their second, third relationships out of college.
A lot of them are in their 20s, early 30s. But they keep saying like, "Oh, I'm part of this experiment." And I get it. They truly are part of this experiment. But this is season 8. You saw all the other seasons. Is it really an experiment anymore? You know exactly what you're getting into, and you're still choosing to go this route.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the other seasons, but have there been any success stories from the other ones?
Oh, yeah. People get married,
Have
like have babies.
There's not a ton. There's maybe a
No.
handful total in all 8 seasons.
In all 8 seasons, is there at least one couple that's always still together?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who.
Yeah.
What about the guy that's really loud, Joey? He reminds me of a gorilla.
Wait, are you thinking about Dave with the long hair?
No, his name's
Are
Joey.
they all named Dave?
No.
No.
The guy, the douchebag is
Oh,
Dave.
yeah.
I think his name's Joey.
The one that's with Monica and they do like the fam jam.
Yeah.
Yes.
And something's wrong with him.
Yeah, no, I think he.
I think
he has
mentally
OCD. He talks about it.
He does, and I feel bad for that. But something is seriously like he's a.
Oh, Mason ended up with no one.
Yeah, well, he's a dork.
He played it wrong.
Poor Mason.
Yeah.
Anyway, that Joey guy, he's just a little much.
Oh,
for me.
there's Lauren. Go back. That's who Dave is with, right there.
Okay.
cute.
So-
She's a Sagittarius.
What does that mean?
What's her sign?
Well, I know that, but what does that mean about her personality?
I don't know. Just read it. I have no idea.
There's Joey.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is this physician associate?
Okay, so every time that comes up, I'm like, is someone from Netflix stupid and they meant to put a physician assistant?
Yeah.
Because an associate makes it sound like he works the front desk at the office.
Is that like assistant to the regional manager?
I mean, I kind of hope that is his job, but I mean, he's the one that he was talking about having investments, though, right? He said he was financially secure in episode 1.
Oh, maybe.
Was that him?
They all say that. I hate that.
A physician associate is a licensed clinician who works under a doctor to diagnose, treat, and manage patients.
Okay,
So
it's the
same
as a
physician's assistant. They should just put PA. I mean, let's cut the shit. Okay, Joey. I love how their IG handle. I thought that was his email. I was like, let's email bomb him. That's funny. He's a lot.
He is a lot.
Doesn't he seem like I know he has OCD, but he also has ADD.
I feel like he will just come in like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, he
and
will
just like knock things over.
Right. And hug you, and
He wears like crazy Hawaiian t-shirts.
he's very loud and just wants to be up in your
Do you
face.
think him and Monica will end up together?
No.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't think so. I think he is so like hyper like that, but then on the inside, something's going on.
Like he's just really insecure.
He's
maybe.
insecure, or he's sad. I think I think he's a manic depressive. That's my prediction.
Okay.
That he will be really, really high and then really, really low.
It's really hard to be with somebody like that.
Yeah, 100%.
I know, but Monica's family does this thing called the fam jam. And the mom brings out this bucket of instruments and everybody just jams out in the living room.
Yeah, it was very cute.
Oh, I'm getting a tambourine. I'm going to get a little recorder, like, little
Shakers.
maracas and like all the things. Like, how fun. So fun.
Need to get a harmonica and a recorder.
Yep.
All the instruments.
I know, but
you
I
can-
feel
bongo
like the
drums.
brother that was like playing like the piccolo or whatever was in there, like he kind of knew what he was doing.
He's not even the brother-in-law. He's the one girlfriend's boyfriend, or the sister's
Oh, the
boyfriend.
sister's boyfriend.
Who
Yeah.
dated Monica.
No.
That's what they were talking about. Did you see that episode?
So I
Where they
watched
did
the episode,
fam
but I was
jam?
like doing things at the same
Okay.
time, so I didn't really
So
like
they
pay attention to everything.
I think the mom brought it up, and she was like,
leave it to the
Are we
mom."
going to talk about how you dated her first? And they were just like, seriously, mom?
Well, I mean,
Mom-
if they're gonna
Mom's
get married,
ruining
it's gonna
everything.
come
I know.
out, right?
And the sister's very protective. She does not want Monica to be with him.
All right, so Meko and I think that we would make better hosts of Love is Blind than Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. What are your thoughts, Mitch?
I could see that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we should plead and beg with Love is Blind / Netflix
Yeah.
to be the hosts.
And there's a reason why Nick and Vanessa are not on every episode. It's because they're boring.
They're boring.
Like if there was feed of Meko and I like going into the pods,
they have nothing to
and-
add.
No.
Well, I think also she got too personal at the last reunion show.
Vanessa.
I think that was the feedback. Like she was talking about, she was asking about why they wanted to get pregnant or why they didn't want to get pregnant. I can't remember the circumstance.
Okay, well, I would be very personal, and I would ask very personal questions.
And I think she got canceled, kind of.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Well, then it's got to be a whole different premise to the show because
Yeah.
Meko and Katie are going in for all the goods and all the dirt.
See, why don't you start your own though? Right?
we
I mean,
could. We could start our own dating matchmaking.
I mean, right? I mean, because like,
I love doing that.
because the one thing I thought was kind of funny about Love is Blind, they're just like, oh yeah, you're just going in blind. It doesn't matter about looks, doesn't matter
Yeah.
about finances, but like everybody's got like a decent cushiony job. There's not like here's Jim, the
Right.
custodial
Right.
engineer. And
Yeah.
Well, also they do care about it because when they start talking about it, like the what's the cute girl who's the
Dating the basketball player.
Yeah,
Basketball
basketball
coach.
coach.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I want a prenup. And yeah.
which I don't blame her.
No, because it seems like she's really got her shit together.
When you get married after 30s,
Yeah.
you should have a prenup.
Yeah.
I'm
you should have
sorry.
told me that a while ago.
Did you get married past your 30s?
Yeah.
You did? You should
Yeah.
have had a prenup.
I should
I'm
have.
not even kidding.
Yeah.
I think you should.
No, Chris
No.
and I were 24. We literally had 5 cents to our name. There was nothing to say, this is mine, this is yours. Not even like a dog. Like
Right.
we literally had nothing of our
Yeah,
own.
that's a
You know
different
what I mean?
situation.
So,
but when you both have
Yes.
stuff and you're coming into the marriage,
oh, like my daughter, like especially because I don't see her getting married like right out of school, you
Yeah.
know? Oh yeah, no, if she's got a proper career and has already started like investing and like doing things, oh yes, no, I will be very stern on a prenup and probably like what she gets left, you know? There might be like, staples, PowerPoint, notes. Chris and I talking into a camera saying things.
I mean, you can get like some
You can
pretty
do that.
detailed prenups. Like, it
well, you
even-
can do a living trust that specifies, because we did this, how much each, if you have 2 kids or whatever, and then rules.
Okay.
So they can get a chunk when they're 25, they can get a chunk when they're 35, they can get a chunk when they're 45. If they are married during that time, does the spouse get any? Yes or no?
Okay.
Yeah, you can be very specific.
Yeah. So
See, I'm generous anyways. Even if something happened, I'm like, you can take half the stuff
not.
anyway.
Yeah.
It's like
That's hard-earned money.
It is. It is.
I don't want it to go to some asshole if they get a divorce from my kid.
Right.
no, very
Yeah.
true.
Well, especially with your kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And I know your kids. They're
Yeah,
cool.
they're cool. They won't
agree.
marry assholes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But, you never know. So anyway, Love is Blind, prenup. I totally agree. That guy was not on board. You know why? Because he doesn't have a pot to piss in.
No, because he spends all his money on shoes.
She was like, how much do you spend on a pair of Air Jordans? He's like, I don't know, like $700-800. Like, but only a couple times a month. That's like
Yeah.
your rent, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's an
Yeah.
assistant basketball coach. So I don't really think he's raking it in. So
I don't think he is. And not to like the Pistons.
yeah, right. Is it like a college team?
I don't even think so. I
Okay.
thought it was like a boys club or something.
Oh, really?
I don't
YMCA.
know. Which seems /volunteerish. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. We can look it up. He seems nice.
No, he seems very
He seems
nice. I
way
liked
more
his
into her.
family.
Yeah, his family is.
Well, in a preview, it looks like because they end up bringing everybody back together for like a mixer.
Oh yeah,
So
he
then
was
you're
looking at that
so
other
you're
girl.
kind of like you see the people that you kind of had a connection with, but you didn't choose. But now you see them in person, and you're like, oh wow, if I had met you out in the wild, I would have totally been into you. And then they start flirting, but yet they've already committed and said, I love you, I want to marry you.
And
to
gave that
somebody
person a
else.
ring.
But that's why you got to see the person.
I
I
know.
mean, we have those animalistic tendencies.
You
We
have to have
be-
chemistry.
Right. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just how many good friends do you have the opposite sex that you love and that you're friends with, but
Yeah.
you don't want to be like
Yeah, I don't wanna
partnered with
marry
them.
him.
Completely platonic.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's basically, I think, what our show should be. obviously love is not blind. So let's just get these people together. I feel like we should sit with girls while they're on. Is Hinge the one where girls are in charge? Or is it Bumble?
Bumble.
Bumble's the one
Bumble.
where the girls are in charge?
I actually know that one.
Okay. And then like help them swipe and then kind of do like a debrief like after their first date. And then like talk about it. I think that'd be a great show. You and I would have like this big sister vibe.
I love it. We'd put them on a screen,
Yep.
like this screen, and we'd be like, swipe.
Yep.
Nope, keep swiping.
Yep. Just like sorority rush, like totally judge and be like, nope, absolutely not. Keep going.
So a long time ago, we had this friend, my group of friends had a friend who was single, and she was on a dating app, and we made her one night at dinner print out all of her dating people that she was down to, that she could potentially go on a date with, in their profiles and bring it to dinner. And we all passed it around, and we're like, oh no, you should not date him. She ended up dating him.
Oh, no. Was
yeah,
it successful?
for like a long time. No,
No.
they broke up. But it was hilarious
Yeah.
and very
Well,
entertaining.
before it was like dating apps like on your phone and it was like Match.com, like that kind of stuff. I would have friends' passwords and they'd be like, okay, you need to go in and like read what this person is saying. And the thing is, I had been married for so long, you know, I had a kid and I'm just eating popcorn. Like, this is amazing. Like, this guy is just so blunt and just, it's like reading 50 Shades of Grey. Like, dude, you guys haven't even gone on a date yet.
How did you meet your wife?
Farmersonly.com.
Shut
did
up.
No. Actually, at the bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, which is like the most cliche thing.
Yeah.
But I was working.
Yeah.
And it was just a busy night, band playing, bar completely packed. Like 2 people happened to leave. Right as 2 people came to sit down, she was one of those 2 people.
Was she on a date?
No, she was
Okay,
just,
good.
it was just this random female that she was, I thought they were like friends.
Oh, yeah.
It turns out they didn't know each other. They just happened to come at the same time. So we made a joke about that. And as the night kind of died down a little bit, you know, like she's attractive.
Yeah.
So all the guys were kind of talking to her and I could just hear them giving her a hard time. So I walked over to make sure she was all right.
Yeah,
And,
that's nice.
and then she's like, oh, they were saying you're a musician. She's like, I'm a musician. So she gave me her business card.
Okay.
You know, she's like, yeah, we should get together, jam sometime. And because she lived in Europe for like almost a decade. And so
Okay.
she'd just been back to the States about a year at that point. And so she's like, yeah, I'm looking for some people to jam with and hang out with. And one of the girls I was working with is like, oh man, she's looking at you, you should do it. And I'm like, never. I'm like, don't hook up or go out with anybody where they know where you work.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like you're behind the bar, they'll come, they can
Yeah.
find you and stalk you. But weeks later, I looked up her music and she was good. So I emailed her back. I'm like, hey, let's this is some of my music. Let's get together and jam. And then eventually, you know, we ended up after she made me some tandoori chicken.
Okay.
On like the 11th time we hung out,
Yeah.
she kept track.
Oh.
Yep. And then I was just like, yeah.
She liked you.
She liked you.
I mean,
oh, that's awesome.
I mean, how can you not?
I know. Can
Right.
you blame her? I mean, when you're
Right.
when you're a savant.
Yeah,
cocktail
so you're
maker.
a cocktail
Savant
savant.
mixologist.
All right, so do you guys like jam out at home?
Yeah.
That's
What does she
awesome.
play?
We a little bit of everything, but she very good singer. She plays marimba. So
What's
Well, I don't know what that is.
you know, it's like the wooden xylophone things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So she
very-
was
those
in
are
a,
beautiful.
Yeah, she was like in a West African like dance band
Oh my
for a
God.
while. And so like when you said buckets of stuff,
Yeah.
you know, like that's
Yeah.
our household.
Oh,
like
you would have a fam
instruments.
jam.
We do all the time. Like, you know, we have too many ukuleles laying around and all the kind of shakers
Wow.
Oh, very
and all that fun
fun.
stuff. So we just have these little random jam sessions and
That's
so
fantastic.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you ever leave? Mr. Nugget just farted. I'm just letting you all know.
Oh,
blame it on
lovely.
them.
Lovely.
It's facing right at Meko.
Yeah.
So do you ever like come out from behind the bar and play at video?
Every so often.
Do
I
you?
saw you do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
That one band that was there, the 2 guys on a Saturday night.
Okay,
When Randy
yeah.
and I were there, and they're like, "Mitch, come on and join us." And you went and played something. I can't remember. what
I
you played.
don't remember.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
good.
so we do live music every Saturday, and I book all the musicians.
Okay.
Because you know, I know a lot of them, and I book the ones that are pretty talented.
Mitch
so-
basically runs Vito.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
I wouldn't say that, but you know, I
okay.
you know,
I don't think any of them are listening to our podcast.
they're tuned in right now.
We'll take the chance.
They got the live feed directly to them.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So every once in a while, musicians, because I've known them for like 20 years at this point, and if there's like a little bit of a lull, they're like, "You got time to come up?" And I'll
Yeah.
jam with them, and so yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I dig it.
Should
All
we
right.
go into our next drink?
Yes, next
our
cocktail,
next
Mitch.
cocktail?
what is our next
Let's do
cocktail?
it.
What do you want to do? Do you want to
Whatever
do?
you want. What is your heart desires?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm game. Who's the thirstiest?
Oh, well.
I have to pack still.
You have to pack
Yes.
Well, tell Mitch where you're going. Tell everybody where you're going.
Okay.
So I'm going to a couple places, but I'll end up in Park City,
Okay.
Utah.
Utah. Oh, you sure you don't want to drink a lot before you go there?
No.
Okay.
I know. I know it's Mormon. Yeah, you can't get a cocktail without food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
They
I-
don't just have bars.
I've been to Utah.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Southern Utah is really
So you can
beautiful.
get a shot, and then you can get, but
With
they don't
chicken
serve
wings?
double wings, or they don't serve doubles.
Okay.
So I think you can get a shot on the side. Not that I've ever done this, but I'm just saying in theory.
In
to do
theory.
that.
But this is actually her annual Cougar Palooza. That's exactly what she's going on. She goes on a ski trip every year.
15th
with her
year.
friends. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm leaving
Aw.
Thursday, and I haven't packed.
Well, we'll miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just realized I forgot a plate, so I'm gonna just run and grab
Okay.
that real quick,
Okay.
and I'll be right
All
back.
We'll keep chatting.
Yeah.
So I am so sick of the whole Blake and Justin thing. I hope they kill each other.
So basically, I don't think that their actual court date is until next year. So it's not going to stop.
can't.
It's literally going to
We
be
need to
pure
find
entertainment.
another news outlet or another news thing to feature. Somebody else has to commit a crime because I can't.
Well,
They won't come off my feed.
So
I need to
P.
figure out
Diddy
how-
was supposed to be in court next month. His lawyer just bailed on him because he was like, yeah, no, this is too much. I can't. So let me tell you what that means. He's guilty. Guilty as
Probably.
charged.
Yeah, he's guilty, 100%.
And who was that girl who would always be out, who always had like all the dish on Diddy? And I'm like, how is this chick not like dead or something?
yeah,
What was her name?
The black girl.
Yeah.
What was her name? It was like a
It's a crazy name.
masculine name. I can't remember it.
It's like JWoww, but it's not JWoww.
No. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she hasn't been around. I haven't heard much from Diddy, but we do need to know.
Yeah, so that lady. Yeah, I can't find it.
Also, we never finished the whole Jeffrey Epstein list, and I want to see that list.
Jaguar Wright.
That's
who it
right.
is. Yeah.
Jaguar
I haven't
Wright.
heard from her in a while. I'm going to have to Google her.
Maybe she
and see.
died.
Well, I mean, she knew a lot of
A lot of people
intel and, like,
disappear.
insider information.
I'm not trying to be crass,
So-
but a lot of people do disappear in
It's
these
crazy.
kind of circumstances.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah.
I just we haven't seen them in a while. They're probably dead. You know, like
Yeah.
Truth.
object
teller.
permanence. If it's not in front of me, it's just gone.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, Mitch,
all right.
what's
So
next?
the next one is going to be the what was it? The smoky
Smoky margarita.
So you sent me a recipe that you really liked.
It's Jeffrey Zakarian's recipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I told you, I'm like, might be a little.
He
bit.
is an iron chef, Mitch.
Yeah, and
But he's not an iron cocktail chef.
He's not. He's not. He's
No, but-
not a cocktail
yeah.
savant like you.
Right. So, but the thing is, that's one thing that's great about making drinks or anything. Like, I take it the same approach as music, right?
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like if you're playing a song, if you try to do it exactly note for note,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't work. And you got to play to the audience, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So when you sent me that, I'm like, I feel like it's not enough booze.
Oh,
And if I know you, you know, so what we're gonna do with that one that
Okay.
you sent me is we're gonna do something that's called rejiggering
Rejiggering.
a cocktail.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember?
Interesting.
That's
Yes.
this thing, right?
Yep.
So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna tweak the balance a little bit,
Okay.
dial some stuff up, dial some stuff down,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do that. So right now we've got the black salt, a
Yes.
little bit of agave nectar. So
Yep.
we're gonna use that. Take the glass here. Just gonna get this a little bit
See, I'm just
sticky.
not good at this at home.
Oh,
So
I'm not good at this.
Do you put the agave nectar always on a flat surface? You don't just put it in the dish or
And
something?
I normally don't use agave nectar. I use
Yeah.
lime juice. Should
I
we be using
usually use
agave
lime.
nectar?
I'm using agave because that's what your recipe called for.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see how well that works.
Okay.
So we're gonna just kind of play it as close as we can to
Okay.
the two. But otherwise, if this doesn't work right here, I'm
Yeah.
gonna retry it again with these limes I got.
Got it.
So it's
Cheap ingredients first.
yes, absolutely. And so I'm letting it drip a little bit. I like to do
Okay.
half because that way, if it messes up, or I shouldn't say if it messes up, but if you don't want to have any salt in a sip, you can do it without it.
Yeah.
So you can kind of choose your own adventure as you go. So we got like a little bit.
That's so pretty.
I
like to
actually
keep
did a really good job.
little
Yeah.
clean line. You just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
That way it just looks nice. I'm gonna sit down nice and easy because
Perfect.
it's gonna be a little bit,
Yep.
you know, you want to drop it everywhere. So now that we have it like that, we are going to grab some shakers.
Yes, yes.
And I like to, this one's gonna be a little bit trickier because we're gonna use egg whites.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So Jeffrey Zakarian does say if you go to a restaurant or a bar and they have a cocktail with egg white on the menu,
Yeah.
that you one are at a place with a great craft mixologist there, because you're not going to go to Applebee's and find something with an egg white on the bar menu,
I hope not.
No, because you could get
right?
really
Food
sick.
poisoning.
Yeah.
And then he says that you have to try that drink. So that has been my
That has been
my
your thing?
rule
Awesome.
going forward.
So now this can be messy. This
Okay.
could take a couple attempts.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do though is because we only want the egg whites,
Correct.
and this is a full egg,
Yes.
right? And we're using pasteurized eggs because the shells are really clean.
Okay.
This way you have a very minimal chance of getting salmonella.
Okay.
Where like farm fresh stuff like that, there's still that small chance of having salmonella from the chicken
Okay.
itself.
So I did forget eggs, but I would have brought farm fresh eggs. So I called Meko. She brought farm fresh eggs, and Mitch was like, "Yeah, no, we need the white eggs." So I go to Dollar General, and apparently somebody drove into the side of Dollar General. All their refrigerators were broken. There was no cold products in there
But
at all.
they did that a year ago.
Well, I guess they're just not big.
Keeps
on
happening
their,
again.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Maybe they
So,
just are like.
so then I had to buzz down the street to Aldi, and we have this beautiful new Aldi down the road. So yeah, I grabbed the eggs from there. So those are Aldi
awesome.
eggs.
Well, let's see how well Aldi does eggs.
Okay.
They're not a sponsor, are they?
No.
No. So we're gonna take it. We're gonna gently kind of do a little crack, right?
Okay.
And this is the tricky part and the messy part. So we're gonna just we just only want to get. It's not as clean of a break as I wanted, but this is we're still manageable right now.
Yeah.
We're still able to get it. All right, look at that.
And you want the whole white?
Yeah, we want the white. Depending on the size of the egg, like this one's a little bit more medium sized to large.
Yeah.
So we only want, that's about enough. So I'm
Okay.
gonna waste this little bit. I'm
That's
sorry,
fine.
little egg.
So is it true that that's the original sour mix?
The original?
Yeah.
No, actually.
Oh.
But what happened was all the sour cocktails started using egg whites eventually.
Okay.
I mean, and this is back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So before Prohibition,
Okay.
mixologists were taken very seriously. Because
That makes sense.
Yeah, because you couldn't Google a recipe.
Yeah.
You had to know all these things in your head,
Yep.
right? And so what happened is during Prohibition, like all the good bartenders fled to Europe. They fled like to Cuba. They went all over the place where they could find work because back then they got paid pretty well.
Right.
And then Prohibition hit, then everybody was doing the whole like speakeasy thing.
Yeah.
Bathtub gin.
Bathtub gin. So that's when you started adding all the fruit to all the drinks, like the old fashioned with the muddled
okay.
fruit. It's because the whiskey tasted
Shitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then that kind of stuck. And then what happened was you had like the 70s come around, everybody started using like these pre-mixes,
Yeah.
and everybody had bar books, and they're just copying all these like really simple recipes, and it didn't really pick up to be like the true like artistry that it was
Sure.
until then. So like with the sour mix, it's essentially just citrus and sugar.
Yeah.
That's the way it was supposed to be. And so whiskey sour was like citrus, sugar, whiskey, and then they added egg for the frothiness.
Okay.
And that's like when I think of whiskey sour and I think of the craft cocktail, I'm doing egg white.
Okay,
And that's,
yeah.
that's what I'll ask. I'm like, do you like egg? Do you have any allergies?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm putting it in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Whiskey
No.
sour. Oh my God. That brings back like college nightmares.
College nightmares? Well, because you probably had. Did you-
It crappy one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was probably
I
like
don't-
whiskey and
It
sour
wasn't
mix.
egg whites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't made
that's-
by a person. I'm sure it was made in bulk.
Yeah.
And just poured into a pitcher.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's
I
just-
drank a lot of Long Island iced teas in college. They would be so disgusting now because I just don't drink pot.
Oh, yeah.
I drink a lot of Long Island iced teas.
Okay, so I make Long Island iced teas.
You
with
do?
Premium spirits, no sour mix. I
Yeah.
use fresh citrus and just a tiny splash of Coke for color. I mean, I'm talking about hardly
Okay.
anything. So
Okay.
next time we'll.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's not my go-to drink, to be honest with you.
No.
You know what I mean? But if I have to make it,
No,
I'm gonna
because
make
if
it
I go
nice.
to Vido and you're making me a cocktail, you're making me a mezcal old fashioned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, because that
Okay.
is like my
Yeah.
favorite.
What is the next ingredient? What
Next
is it? Okay,
ingredient
what
is
in there so
love,
far?
which is not FDA approved.
Okay.
Right? So use that at your discretion.
Okay.
Aw.
Very sweet.
I was expecting the aw. Aw. All right, so we got the egg in this separate one,
Yeah.
right? So I'm
Okay.
gonna start with that. Now I'm gonna put the other ingredients in the smaller one.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do now is we're
It's like
gonna
making chocolate chip cookies. You got to keep them separated until you put them together.
Right, yeah.
Separated.
Yes.
All right. So what we're gonna need now is I'm gonna start with some of the cheaper ingredients here. I'm gonna grab my jigger here, and the one you sent me called for like half an ounce of agave nectar, which is doable. But I'm
Okay.
gonna add a little bit of cointreau
Okay.
into it.
Okay.
Because the one you sent me was kind of like what's called a Tommy's margarita, where they skip the orange liqueur.
Okay.
And they use agave as a sweetener. I like to put a little bit of both.
Okay.
So we're gonna do.
In Mitch, we trust.
We do.
All right. So what I'm gonna do here is since I'm using two things that are sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what's called stacking.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use that the jigger. I'm not gonna dump it yet.
All right.
So I'm gonna put that off to the side. And
The
since
best is that Meko's actually had this smoky margarita with me
Yeah.
when Jeffrey Zakarian was still the head chef of Lamb's Club in New York City. So she will be.
I know,
Good
no
judgment
pressure
as
for
well.
me.
No pressure
I'm
from you.
rejiggering
Yes.
an Iron Chef cocktail.
But he
right
wasn't an
now.
Iron Chef of cocktails. He's
He
an
wasn't,
Iron
just
Chef
of
of
food.
food.
But he knows flavors though.
He does.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
And it's interchangeable to a
Yeah.
certain degree. I like to think that when I'm cooking, that I'm like I could be Iron Chef material.
Yeah. Oh, I love
But-
watching Jeffrey Zakarian on Instagram when he makes cocktails in his kitchen. It's my favorite.
So you stack it because why?
Because this is sweet, right? So
Okay.
what we're gonna do here is I don't want to add too much sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So if you just do 0.25 ounces plus 0.25, you can kind of go over a little bit.
Okay.
But this way, when you're putting the sweet all in the same, it's just you're not gonna overdo it as much. So I've got it right to that line.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I guess the cheaper ingredients first. This isn't that cheap, but I'm using still a little bit of it.
Okay. Wow.
I'm just throwing stuff around.
That's right.
So here we go. So now I'm gonna put that into this one right here. And then we're gonna add our freshly squeezed
Yes.
lime juice, which we squeezed just before we started doing this. I didn't even take shortcuts,
Right.
even when we're doing it here.
Right. No.
So we're gonna add, it called for half an ounce. So
Do you find it easier to do this all on your own, or do you need an assistant?
I mean, it's always easy if you have, easier
Yeah.
if you have an assistant.
Because it's sort of like you're
that they
doing
know what they're
surgery,
doing.
and you could have been like, pass the scalpel. but
So
you're
what
passing
we
the-
do is we call those bar backs.
Oh, right.
So bar backs are kind of like the assistants if you have a decent one, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like I need this.
They can anticipate your moves.
So when you see me on a busy night and I've got someone behind and I'm
Yeah.
yelling commands to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where I'm like, hand me this, hand me that. That way I can mix while they're grabbing me a bottle of tequila.
Egg
that I
white.
ran out of.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Stat.
Right. And, they pay me too much money, so they don't like to give me bar backs too often because it eats
Right.
into the budget too much.
Oh,
Okay.
You
of
know.
course. I'm just kidding.
No.
You
So-
could serve twice as many cocktails.
There you
That
go.
is the reasoning.
That makes sense,
behind.
yeah. And, but reasonably serve twice as many because we're not going to overserve.
Right.
Correct.
Correct. Correct.
teasing.
Well, your revenue per hour.
Oh,
will go up,
of course.
just saying.
So we're gonna do the half ounce of lime juice that it called for.
Yes.
So I'm gonna add just a little bit more. We're gonna call that a fat pour.
Okay.
So it's in between that, just to add a little
Like
more.
an
citrus.
airport pour.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. So we're gonna add that into that.
Okay.
Into the small one. And
Yes. That's
Yeah.
a really good mezcal.
yeah, the Del
Yes.
Maguey Vita, the classic.
And like it's very reasonably priced. Now,
Yeah.
granted, that brand does have much higher end mezcal.
For sure.
But that one,
when you're gonna add
it's
for
like
mixing.
$35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also make something else too, don't they?
Oh, they make a lot of different
make it-
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they
have.
make wine too, I think.
I'm not sure about that. Well,
I
I mean,
think they make a rosé.
well, this is actually a French
Sparkling rosé.
company.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Then that would make sense.
Yeah,
if they did,
exactly. Yeah, which is weird how many tequila and mezcal companies aren't even actually
From
Mexican
Mexico?
owned. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the world economy, right?
Right.
But what I like about the mezcal, and the reason why this is smokier than tequila, is the way that they cook the agave plant. So they roll it down the hill, like you'll see here. Put it on the hill. They cut off the little pokey parts. All that's up is the peanut. They bury it. They cook it for like a week in the ground.
Oh my God.
Then they take it out, then they crush it down. Whereas with tequila, they're cooking the cactus in the oven.
Yeah.
So nice.
Sounds very labor intensive.
It is. And you can taste the labor.
Yeah. It was like ice wine from Canada.
Okay, yeah,
Very
yeah.
labor intensive.
All right, now we're
Look,
going to
brand new
use
bottle too.
a 1/4 ounce in this. A little bit can go a long way. Although sometimes
I know.
Yeah.
I love the smoky labor.
Oh, I know.
labor or
the old
flavor.
fashioned I make her is like 2 ounces of this.
Yes, so good.
And all right. So now we got those.
I love how you can craft your cocktails accordingly to whoever you're making it for, right? So Katie
Yeah.
loves more mezcal, so you would make her 2 ounces versus if you were serving someone else, and that's how you can tell
Right,
you're a good bartender.
Well, thank you. And that's why I like bartender as opposed to mixologist, right? Because I'm not just trying to make a drink to make a drink. I'm trying to create an
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the more I know you, the more I know
Yeah.
your flavor profiles, we can custom tailor it.
Exactly.
You know? And the same thing as if you're making these at home,
Oh,
tweak
yeah.
it. Tweak it any way you want. If it tastes too boozy, add a little bit more sugar, dial it down a little bit.
So when I first had this in New York, and then I went home and I got the recipe like off of Food Network, right?
Yeah.
And I started making them at home, and Chris and I were like, no, this isn't right. So then you make another version. Oh, no, this one isn't right either. So then I'm on the 4th one. Well, at this point, I think I was just a little tipsy. And I was like, oh, I nailed it. This one's great.
Absolutely. It's trial and error. Like,
Yeah. But sometimes I think it just tastes better when someone else makes it for you.
I mean, it's almost like free food tastes better.
Yes.
Like you can go out and then like someone's like, oh, here I bought you a meal.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
just like,
or someone else makes your
and-
food.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And you're like, oh, this is great. Like I love it.
Yeah.
It's
It's like you said, it's all about the experience.
Of
So
course.
if you were drinking this at, I don't know, somewhere else, not where you're bartending, it might taste different just because the atmosphere would be worse.
yeah. I mean, environment really changes your perspective on how you see everything.
Yeah.
Like it was actually a whole science behind it. It's like psychological. Like that's why like hosts are very important in a restaurant. Because if you walk in, you've only got 7 seconds as a guest to make up your mind with how you think the experience is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're just sitting there confused for those 7 seconds,
Right.
you're already irritated. You're agitated.
irritated. Yeah.
Right? And once you're agitated, everything tastes bad. Nothing's good. The music's too loud. The temperature's not
Right.
right.
Yeah.
But if you start off in a good mood, you're way more like flexible and you enjoy all the little things.
Somebody's
Yeah.
friendly,
Yeah,
greeting you.
You need
Yeah.
you need the friendliness.
Yeah.
It's like you're spending your hard-earned money. You're gonna go out. You want to be welcomed where you're.
Yeah.
I love when you go to a really nice restaurant and they have like champagne or something behind, and they're like, "Would you like a drink while you wait?"
Oh,
It
absolutely.
makes the
Wow,
waiting
you go
so
to
much.
really fancy places.
No, I've been. Have you been to places like that? Where they're
Where I
like,
get
"Would
free
you?"
champagne when I walk in?
Well, I'm sure it's not their top line. Yeah, like sparkling wine, and
So-
they're like, "Here you go. Would you like a glass?"
Yeah,
while you
and
wait?"
it all inclusive.
So we do that kind of stuff for private events. So if you book a
Okay.
private event with us,
Okay.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
do the complimentary right at the door. Like
Yeah.
here's a little half glass of prosecco.
Just sets the mood.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
We're all about setting moods.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
Yes.
So the next part is we got our super tequila again.
Yes.
So we're gonna do your recipe called for 1 1/4 ounce. We're gonna do 1 1/2 ounce,
Okay.
just to crank it up a little bit more.
Okay.
And especially since we're using the egg white, we want to kind of taste it beyond that.
Sure.
So because you're using egg white, you would use more tequila?
In this instance,
Okay.
it's just you want the flavor to kind of shine
Yeah, to
through
come
because
through the egg
the
white.
egg's not really gonna taste. You're not gonna have too much taste,
Right.
but it's gonna give you a mouthfeel and it's gonna coat your tongue. So I like to have those flavors pop beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a little bit.
Here you can get more protein in today
Perfect.
with your.
All right.
I know, I'm trying to have more protein. I had steak for lunch,
Good for you.
Nice.
right?
That's awesome.
I mean, I would have
I
steak
had a
every meal if I
firehouse sub.
could, but firehouse subs. That was my dinner last night. I had so many errands I had to run, and it got to
Oh,
be
yeah, I know that happens.
getting close to bedtime for the
Yeah.
kid. We're at leaving Meyer, like, no, firehouse subs
Firehouse
it is.
subs.
This is dinner. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
no, that's
Yeah.
very convenient.
not necessarily the
No, I
parenting
got all
win.
these top sirloins, then I seasoned them up and I let them let it all sit, and then I just cooked them in the pan, 2 minutes on one side, 1 minute on the other side, so it was still like a little more rare than medium rare, knowing that it would
Like
get
you
like
seared it 1st. Oh, nice.
just knowing that it was gonna get each one was gonna get chopped up and separately, packaged, so that you know that you had like one chopped up sirloin, and if you wanted to put it like over rice, or if you wanted
right.
it by
That's a
itself,
good
or you want to put it
idea.
in a little wrap. So yeah,
Meal prepping.
meal prepping. I'm trying to get better. We got Mexico in 5 weeks. I
Oh,
gotta,
this is
you
true.
know.
This is true.
I'm just trying to get better because I always forget, and I get home after a long shift, and I'm like, I have no food I want to eat.
Right.
And then I'm like,
But you know what?
forget.
That's the thing, is that I would end up eating garbage or
Yeah.
like potato chips and Chick-fil-A sauce. But you know what? If I have good chicken
Yeah.
and steak like already made that's
Yeah.
delicious, like I'm eating that instead.
yeah.
So
And that's what I try to do too. And like with veggies, I got like my rice cooker. So now every once
Yeah.
in a while, it's like, because I don't like
Steam your veggies.
Yeah, because I don't like eating leftovers. So when my wife cooks dinner, by the time I get home, I don't want to warm up like.
Okay.
what
Oh,
she
you
cooked.
don't?
No, I don't like leftovers. I'm weird.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm yeah.
So you'd rather cook at 2 a.m?
It's usually around 3 a.m. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like sometimes by the time I
God
get done
bless.
eating and stuff, it's like 4 a.m. Then I remember I have to do laundry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
At Vidu?
I don't do laundry at Vidu.
Oh,
So, when
I
get
thought you
home,
meant-
like, I meant like when I get home from work,
Oh.
I cook. Yeah, I'm not cooking at Vidu either. I don't know how to use their equipment.
Yeah.
It's all Indian food. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. They didn't hire me for my cooking skills.
Yeah. It's really good Indian
It's good
food, though.
Oh yeah, that's like
good.
when they
The
offered me
best.
the job. Originally, I went in there and they recognized me, and their friends did. They're like, "That's the guy you need to hire." And they asked me for the job. I said no, because I wasn't gonna like do craft cocktails in an Indian restaurant.
Yeah.
And then like I tried the food. I'm like, man, this is really
It's
good.
really good
Yeah.
food.
And then so I entertained them. I'm like, all right, what do you guys want to do? And they're like, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, we're gonna do some high-end craft cocktails paired with Indian food. They're like, sure.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yep.
It's perfect.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we have egg white.
Mm-hmm.
We have the rest of the cocktail here. Again, we're gonna gently put this together. Now, this one is a bit trickier,
Okay.
right?
Because you don't want to dump the egg white.
Yeah, yeah, because what you do here is, no, just, I'm like, wait a minute here.
Did
I'm
you
gonna
forget
grab.
ice?
No, I didn't forget ice. That one just had a little bit of sticky on the outside, and I'm just like,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
You're particular.
I'm too particular. So what we're gonna do is start shaking this slowly. No ice.
Okay.
Okay. Why no ice?
Why no ice? What this does is it kind of like, you know, like when you make like lemon meringue? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what
I
this
mean,
is,
no, because I've never made it.
okay,
but go
well,
ahead.
yeah. So essentially what you're doing here is you're adding a lot of air and frothiness. So this is going to create the good texture that you need.
Okay.
So right now we're going to keep doing this for a while.
And
But
ice would just what? Impede that?
yeah. So you can do what's called a reverse dry shake, where you do the ice first and then you do this, but I don't think you have a good texture. It's a whole
Okay.
different technique. So we're going to start like this, but I'm holding on and pushing tight because this is very gassy, see?
Ooh.
Hear
Just
that?
like Mr. Nugget.
Yeah, as soon as, right. And this can be very messy, especially
Okay.
on a busy night, and
Yep.
you're just spraying everybody with
Yeah, egg white.
Yeah, exactly. People don't want egg on their face, you know.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah,
Is this cocktail going to be available at Vido?
I want to say no.
Okay.
but I can make it. Yeah, I can make it. This is an easy
You
one.
bring your own mezcal. He'll do whatever you want.
You know, it's one
No,
of those.
he has mezcal.
you
I
did?
I just have to
I
show him
have-
my own eggs.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
and
got
I have
it.
the eggs, so we can do egg white drinks there, but I don't put them on the menu itself.
Sure.
Because I can do almost any cocktail you can think of.
Yeah.
You know, we have the menu, which can be like when you're busy, like when you were there last time.
Yep.
I had a bunch of egg white drinks to make.
Oh,
Remember?
so you do make egg white
Yeah,
drinks?
yeah.
I don't even think
That
I
was-
do remember that they were a little bit more labor intensive.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit more time.
Okay.
Does
But-
she have to bring her own eggs?
No, I got
Oh,
eggs.
okay.
We got a lot of eggs.
Oh, that is frothy.
You see
Yeah.
the frothiness?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This frothy. Can you see? I'm gonna pretend like you can see that.
Okay.
And if you can't see it, it's very frothy on the
Yeah.
inside. So now we're gonna take some bigger cubes again.
So you mix it first.
Yep. Get it nice and frothy.
Frothy.
But then we want to chill it.
Oh, okay. Because you don't want to drink warm egg whites.
Right. Just room temperature drinks. I mean, there's some
That
that, are
sounds
meant to
disgusting.
be. But yeah, this isn't one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what this is going to do too is it's going to make it a little bit more frothy still. So we're going to use that. All right. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Here, thank you.
You got it.
Here we go.
Smell
Take
it.
that seal. And
Okay, you started slow then.
And you get like a little rhythm. It's like you're having a fam jam.
it is. That's what I'm saying. Fiesta.
Yeah.
And they're bigger cubes. So what's
Yeah.
going to happen is it's going to take a while for them to melt and dilute.
Okay.
So what we're doing is not getting it cold, we're adding water to the drink as well.
Sure.
And we want to control that dilution, so that's why we don't put ice in first. I don't know if you've noticed that I use
Yeah.
ice last. If you put ice first, what's going to happen is it's just going to start melting.
Yep.
You don't control the dilution, but now we get it cold really quick, it's more to equilibrium.
Okay.
The ice is only melting and it's shaving against this metal on metal. So we're getting these little pieces of ice.
So you're kind of a chemist.
You really are.
Kind of.
Have you ever thought about doing an online bartending school?
Not really, because I have
You
a hard time
should.
opening emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am so
Then
like,
no,
He
you
has
just
one picture on
publish
his
it.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, you will not let that go.
Until
Like-
next week.
Until next week. And yeah, I've never been like online person. I've never even done online dating. You know what I mean?
Well, not
I'm
anymore.
like,
You have a
no,
wife.
you're married.
well, not anymore, but I meant like in
Oh,
the
back in the
past.
day.
You know, like
Got it.
when I was still single at a point when there was still on my date.
Okay.
You know, like I said, I didn't do farmersonly.com. That was just
Yeah.
a joke.
It's a joke.
So what
All
we're
right,
gonna
are
do
you
here-
closing the gate or are you opening the gate?
So this one we're gonna do.
Okay.
That's a very
Right?
good question. I
I'm
love
a
it.
quick learner.
I love it. So with this one right here, like sometimes you can use a cone mesh strainer, but since we're pouring
I've
it
seen you
into
use that a lot.
ice, I don't care if I got a little bit of ice in here
Okay.
as well. So we're gonna start with
Oh,
closed
so
gate.
if you were putting it like in a coupe or something like that, you would want to use
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to get those ice cubes. I mean, and sometimes people just prefer to use it anyways because you get the egg to be a little bit
Yeah.
more airy and frothy from it.
So good, Mitch.
All right, and then as we continue, right, I'm gonna start opening the gate more and getting more of that good froth. Look at that creamy froth. Just the way I said that felt weird. Look at
Yeah.
that creamy
well,
froth.
well, it's okay. It's not a family show, so you're fine.
It's not.
Perfect.
We're rated R.
My kids watching at home, like,
Are you going to put any like decor
Decor.
accoutrements?
yeah, that's so a lot of times what you'll see with sour drinks, egg drinks in bars, they'll put dashes of bitters on top and decorate them.
Okay.
But the reason why they do that is because a lot of times when they do egg whites, they're not breaking the egg fresh. They've already got them in a container, right?
Okay.
Especially if you're
Is
in
that
a
bad?
So is it different
No,
than
no,
if
it's
you were
not
just to
bad.
go buy egg whites in the container at home or at the grocery store as opposed to like cracking the egg?
Well, I mean, they'll do it in house, but like a lot of times the chefs are making like hollandaise.
Yeah.
Oh.
You only need the yolk, so you're going to cross
Yeah.
utilize that egg, and you're going to use the egg whites. So
Sure.
then they're going to give it to the bar. But after it sits in there for just a couple hours, it starts smelling a little bit.
Okay.
It's still good, but it kind of smells like wet dog.
Yeah.
So then they put the dashes of bitters on top.
Oh,
to
that's
mask
it?
that smell.
Smell?
Yeah. But this is
This is fresh.
fresh. So we're not going to no wet dog here.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
obviously.
No, Nuggy's not wet.
No, good, good.
He could use a bath. but
So
he's
what
not.
I'm going to do is just add a little bit more color, and you can add some more citrus for taste.
Okay.
So I like to cut the
Oh my God,
limes
I'm gonna
more
take a
wedge,
picture of
so you can just
So you
squeeze
wouldn't
it.
do the dried lime. You do the
Yeah, and
real
this one
lime.
I'm going to do.
Fresh.
Yeah, I'm going to use fresh on this one because this one you want to be able to add more lime juice as needed if you want.
Got it.
Where the other one, that lime's there just to prime your taste buds and be like, ooh, I'm going to be drinking lime, and it just
You need to
it
take
looks
my
a little
upside
sexy.
down cocktail picture. Listen, Here's the Thing is inspired by Be Alive. Are you ready to share your passions and creativity with the world? At Be Alive, their mission is to build brands and inspire people to chase their passions. They're always searching for dynamic storytellers and creators with a passion to join their team.
a team of dreamers, creators, seekers, united by a common passion for adventure and creativity. If you want to join the Be Alive creator community, maybe shop for some fun Be Alive merch, or catch up on all Listen Here's the Thing episodes and blogs, head over to Go Be Alive and join the Be Alive family. Be Alive, it's that simple.
Yes, sir. All right, Mitch, I'm so excited for this.
And I'm kind of nervous based off the excitement. Now I don't want to disappoint.
How do you feel like
No, it's really good.
Is it really good?
Yes. So Jeffrey Zakarian is no longer the executive chef at the Lambs Club. So when you go there, it's not on the menu because that was like a signature
His
drink
drink.
of his. So I have not had it since.
Okay.
I probably haven't had that cocktail since 2000. When did we take the girls? In 22?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
since 2022. And I don't even think he was still the chef there, but it was very quick after his departure. So they still knew how to make them. And then we went back a year later, and the bartender looked at me like I was crazy. Because they used to keep the eggs on the bar in this like fancy little contraption. So, all right, try it.
What's the difference between drinking it straight from a glass or a straw? Do you have a preference?
I prefer no straws. Unless
Okay.
you're drinking something like a tiki drink.
Okay.
Like if you're using like a lot of pebbled ice, or if you're doing a drink that's like more like a swizzle, where they have the pebbled ice, and you really got to like get through there, or like
Okay.
a blended drink. But something like that, I prefer no straw because you get more of the
That's good.
nose, you get just more flavor coming
it's like
in.
drinking wine.
Yeah, yeah. And
You wouldn't use a straw,
right.
obviously.
You know, and it's like
Unless you've just bleached your teeth, like
Right.
sometimes I have to do.
now when you and when you have a mustache like this, sometimes you got to use a straw when
Oh,
you're
sure.
like business meeting. You're not like
Do you know that for 24 hours after you have lip filler, you can't use a straw?
no one ever told me that.
Yeah, just
You're not
FYI.
supposed to give a blowjob either.
Well, thank you for telling me both. I'm gonna put that in my notes
Damn it.
just in
Write
case.
it down
that-
in your
right-
journal in
yeah.
case you need to remember it later.
Dear
Well, if you-
diary.
If you need to tell somebody at the bar,
Okay.
There you go.
That's-
Someone, if you hear somebody saying, "I just had lip filler,"
I'll be like,
be like,
no
no,
blowjob,
say
no
no
blowjobs
blow-
for you,
yeah,
and no straws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm protecting you right
yeah.
now. Your investment.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Perfect.
really good.
Seeing that's the difference between a bartender and a mixologist.
There you go.
keeping
So you're
out-
both.
Yeah,
You straddle
exactly.
between
Because
You
you're
get-
invested in their lives.
I am, and
I want to hear some good scoop that you've heard.
good
Yes.
scoop that
Good
I've heard.
stuff.
Yes.
Stories.
So like
See,
as a
now-
bartender,
now-
like what's one of your craziest stories?
One of my craziest stories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends because sometimes you want to have a little bit of a, almost like a therapist, doctor. You don't
yeah.
tell too many secrets. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't tell
But-
their secret. They
but-
tell you theirs.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when people drink, they like to talk. Because the first part of your brain that gets hit is the frontal lobe, right?
Right.
So you just talk more. You get louder. So when people are in business meetings, they think they're doing private, like company meetings, and
Yeah.
it's just, you hear everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun. And you're just like, oh, I shouldn't know that. And,
Yeah.
You're on your
Candid
etrade.com
Oh,
and you're like, sell.
No, I mean, honestly, everything I've learned about finances has been from working at the bar. Drunk people get, they like to tell you like
greatest
how to manage your
education.
money better, how to do this, how to do that. Exactly.
Perfect.
So it's like, I've made it this far in life as a bartender, which I think is funny. So my wife has got like a bachelor's from kinesiology from U of M. She went to college all these years. I'm a high school dropout, and I'm just slinging drinks and
Yeah.
supporting.
Learning more.
Yeah. So
That's
it's,
awesome.
But I would have to say, if we're gonna go with the craziest story, I used to bartend at this place that hosted swinger parties. And I think that's what you're leaning up for. So once a month we would have these social groups, is what they're called. I love it. Yeah, they
In our town.
us
And I
more.
really hope, can we have like a secret code that, like, if we're at the bar and somebody who used to go to one of those, you just say something like avocado, and then we can turn and look
their secrets.
and see?
Their secrets are safe with
Oh,
me.
did you sign an NDA?
No, I didn't, but it was more like a pinky swear.
Okay.
You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
how you're such a good bartender.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
you don't tell their secrets names.
Yes.
Right,
You just
right.
tell their secrets.
Yeah. Just some of the things. But no,
If your name rhymes with,
I mean, one of the ones that was just kind of like, are you serious right now? Moments I had was they were in there, and it was like they do the meet and greets. All the people who put it on meet the day before the big event.
Okay.
And they all hang out and they do their
they're
discussions.
planning a wedding. In
Yeah,
essence,
in a way,
right?
yeah. So they're all
Okay.
sitting there planning, and this is a Friday night, so we're kind of busy.
That's serious
It's
business.
like 8:30 p.m., so it's not too late. Not even the time where we kick minors out yet.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there bartending, we're pretty busy. I see like 4 guys not facing the front of the bar, but looking behind them. So I'm like, something's up. It's like when your kids are quiet and I look over and I just see a guy leaning back in his chair. And I'm
He's
like,
getting blown.
Oh yeah. So I had to walk around the bar and
Stop it. What did you do?
I went and banged on the table, and this girl comes out and says, "What?" I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" Yeah.
Say I swear.
I swear.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So she
And she's like,
she came up.
I wish she would have wiped. It would have been more dramatic, but she just kind of came out, kind of like, "What?" Like, I wasn't doing anything. I was just down under this table, like,
What
doing
did
nothing.
the guy receiving the BJ do?
I mean, like nothing. It was like it didn't
He was
phase him.
probably
Yeah, he was just like,
dazed and confused.
yeah. And I disappointed the guys at the bar watching it because that was a show
Yeah.
to them. They were like, it was-
Oh my
Unbelievable.
God.
So this was at the bar, like before a swingers convention, or this was just
Yeah.
at a bar?
This was at the bar before the swingers convention.
Okay.
So this is the day before.
Okay.
So they would have that day.
So they're getting primed.
You're getting primed.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
in more ways than one.
yeah. But I mean, I will say those were a lot of fun to work though because it's one of those. No one that goes to those are in a bad mood.
Oh,
So
I'm sure.
I guess.
Every
yeah.
Are they all
every
drunk?
to a certain degree. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to get too drunk because
you
you
need to be able to
perform.
function.
Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
You don't wanna
Yeah.
be blacked
Do you really
out.
want to be the guy at the swingers group that can't get it up?
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah. So it would be.
True.
Yeah.
That'd be embarrassing.
So it was a lot of fun, but throughout the years, you see a lot of crazy. People drink, inhibitions go out the door. Like I can't say how many times I have to tell people to like put their shirts down because they get drunk and want to show off a boob job, or
But that's at any bar.
yeah, that's any bar.
Yeah.
That's any bar, and it's just kind of like, no, you can't do that. Like
Okay. What's the craziest things that has happened at a bar that is not the swingers convention?
Oh man. That is hard. That is hard to tell. Like there's there's so many different things. Like, and sometimes I don't want to say too much because I might give away like somebody
Who
involved.
it is, what it
We don't have to
is.
say
Because it is a small community, and you're like,
It
wait a minute,
is.
I've heard somebody else tell that story before.
Yeah.
No, I mean a lot of fights.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of one of those things
Like
where you just
husband, wife?
husband, wife, yeah.
Yes.
You know, like I've seen somebody like punch a person sitting in the bar while they're still sitting right at the bar.
Did they come in together?
Yeah, no, they didn't know each other, but they just had a
they just-
disagreement and just like didn't even get up to fight. Just,
That's so lazy.
Imagine just like
yeah.
assaulting
That's
somebody
a lazy
like that.
fight.
it really is. You know, I'm not saying it's because they were from Kentucky and West Virginia. But you know,
But were
it was-
they?
Yeah, yeah. It was.
Oh, we can talk about it.
Yeah. No, it was. But just those kind of things, or you just have the people who are just not used to being out in social situations that will come out, and it's just like, oh, we don't get out much, and then it
wow.
becomes like kind of like this weird ordeal, and they start just weirding everybody out. But mostly the worst things are just like drunk old guys hitting on
Ew.
every attractive woman they
Yeah.
can find.
Ew.
And you know, I've got like a zero tolerance for that. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, no, sit down. You're gonna scare away the people here spending money.
Yeah.
You know, and also
I
the
think you
safety.
can do it in a nice way.
Oh, for sure.
And you do.
So do you know, okay, I've seen it on Instagram. I don't remember what it is, but they're like the angel saying that if a girl's like being like
Yeah.
assaulted at a bar,
Yeah.
like
Is
she
it
can
like
order.
this?
No, she
The
like
angel
orders.
shot or
yeah,
something?
an angel
Yeah.
orders an angel
Yeah.
shot, and then you know that somebody's like creeping her out, and then you're like, do you need me to call somebody? Do you need me to get involved?
right.
Like that kind of thing.
See, like I usually don't do that, but usually I read cues of them being awkward, and what I'll usually do is if I see them like heading to the restroom, I'll try to I'll let one of my like female servers
Sure.
or who I'm with kind of know like, hey, I think this dude's bothering her, and as soon as they get up to leave, I'll have them like walk up and be like, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Do we have to intervene?
Yeah.
Let us know. Then they'll come back and like tell me like yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually it's a yes, which is always like it'd be like, yeah, he's bothering me, I don't know what to do. So then they'll just kind of like, all right, I'll try to keep.
So awkward.
Yeah.
You're the catcher.
Have you ever had someone actually order an angel shot?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't had anybody
Okay.
do that.
Do you know that? Is that a universal term?
I've only
never
seen it in
heard that.
memes.
I've
know what
seen
I
it on
mean?
Instagram.
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only reason I know it. Like
Okay.
I've never.
Wouldn't that be your luck if you were the bartender and someone's like, I need an angel shot?
I'd be
You're
like, I need to Google that. I don't know.
does
how to
anybody
make it.
know what that is? Meanwhile, this girl's in distress.
But like, I mean, the thing is, I see the intention, but like everybody knows that meme at that point.
Yeah.
You don't think the guy next to her like has seen that too? Like, I need
Right.
an angel shot. He's like, oh man, this is not going. Like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen those? So I have a daughter who's in college and she goes out. Have you seen those covers for drinks? You know,
Oh,
at
yeah,
like
yeah.
college bars. What do you think of them?
I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, any way to try to be safe.
Yeah.
But I just really recommend not leaving your drink unattended.
Right.
So don't leave your drink at the bar. Like
Yeah.
unless you're leaving it with your friends that you can trust
Take it
that
with.
keep it. Yeah. So I mean, don't even leave it there and turn around.
I know,
Just-
but when I
just-
think of my college girlfriends, even if I was like, watch my drink, they'd be like, blah, 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 not paying
Oh,
attention.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to college bars, if you're going anywhere like you feel like you might be unsafe, I really recommend.
I definitely think they're a little bit more safe now. I was at a bar with her one time and they all were just like this with their drink.
Yeah.
They carried on pitchers too, but
Yeah.
their drink. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of like loitering around.
which
their
is
drinks, which is good.
Which is good.
But
And
I've
that's-
seen that cover thing.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
And like I said, that's a good. That's not bad, but like it's just best to just watch.
Yeah.
Hold your drink because it'd be very easy even if you had a cover if the person was good enough at distracting sleight of hand.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And you just want to avoid any of those situations if you can.
Glow Medical Spa is Mid-Michigan's premier med spa for skin rejuvenation and anti-aging. The trained nurses and estheticians at Glow specialize in non-invasive facial aesthetics such as toxins, fillers, and lasers. Glow is ranked in the top 1% of all providers in the U.S. for Botox and filler, as well as Black Diamond Icon status for Hydrofacial.
Glow Body specializes in body contouring with Ensculpt Neo, Emcella, weight loss clinic, and therapeutic massage. Book an appointment today at glow-skinspa.com. Are you ready to transform your body and mind? Rebar Fitness Studio in Midland, Michigan is what you're looking for. Rebar isn't just a fitness studio, it's a community where strength meets serenity. Whether you're flowing through a yoga sequence, sculpting with bar, or unleashing your energy in a work or pound class, Rebar Fitness Studio offers something for everyone. Their expert instructors create an inspiring and supportive environment that will have you reaching your goals and loving every minute of it.
Elevate your fitness journey. Join Rebar Fitness Studio family today and discover the workout experience you've been waiting for. You can go to rebarmichigan.com and use code LHTT15 to receive 15% off a punch card or monthly membership.
Oh, so Mitch is now making us dirty martinis, but I do need to know what is the most overrated cocktail that when someone asks for it at the bar, you're like, ugh, you don't want that.
Long Island iced tea.
Really?
Yeah.
How funny.
And usually it's like not to be judgy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be judgy.
Yeah.
Usually the people who are Long Islands are going to be a handful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's never like.
What are you saying about my college self, Mitch?
Were you a handful in college?
Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I drank my fair share of Long Island iced teas in college.
Yeah.
Well, I never went to college, but college age.
Yeah.
So when my friends would go on spring break, I would go with them, even though I wasn't drinking from anything.
So awesome.
You know, going to Canada, drinking $2 Long Islands.
Oh,
and you can't walk.
yeah.
Till you
know what I
pass.
mean? Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've been there. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. I'm not judging too harshly.
Yeah.
But no. So that one's one of those things. But where I work, we don't have any low ingredients, so it's all top shelf.
Yeah.
So it's a little more expensive, and usually if you have that money to spend for a drink, you're
Not
compose
going to do a
yourself.
Long
Yeah.
Island iced
Yeah,
tea.
yeah. Usually you have too much.
Yeah.
Well, you'll do it, but you're usually
Or a
not going to try
strawberry
to fist
daiquiri.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people do you have come in and say, "Can I have a strawberry daiquiri?"
Nah, nobody really.
That'd be awesome.
But I can't
By the yard.
So, but I do make strawberry daiquiris there.
Do you?
Not blended, but I
Okay.
take the vintage style. So I infuse my rum with strawberries.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is easy to do at home as well. Slice up some strawberries, pour in some rum, let it sit for a week in the fridge.
Okay.
Strain it, and you have strawberry flavored rum. Mix that with lime juice and a little bit of simple syrup. Shake it up really good. Serve it in a coupe glass. Strain it.
Okay.
And you're gonna have like the best strawberry daiquiri you ever had. Not like the 1990s like
Yeah.
Dailies mix.
Yes.
Where you have a freezing headache
Oh yeah.
from the frozen.
Which
And
like I
your
said,
stomach
my
is,
mom
like,
was that kind of
dead from the
bartender.
sugar.
And she would always make those for parties. All of her bartender friends would come over. I remember being
Did she have the Margaritaville mixer?
no.
You know what I'm talking about? Where you pour the ice in. And
Yeah, but she just used a regular blender and
Yeah.
would just mix like, Bacardi and Dailies, and I would help mix it when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got to drink what was left, which after a while, got to be,
A little boozy.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little boozy. So,
At 10.
yeah, at 10,
Loaded.
It was a different time, Mitch.
it really was, yeah. So we're going to do, since we're doing two, we're going to double up these ingredients.
Okay.
So what we're doing here is, I'm trying to do it before it gets too warm now.
Okay.
Okay,
That's all right.
You know
no.
I'm a virgin
Yeah.
martini drinker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's why we're taking it easy on you. Usually martinis with gin.
Yeah.
But you love
I love
a good
vodka.
vodka martini.
Yeah, I'm not very adventurous when it comes to drinks. I have to admit, I'm just a vodka drinker and a wine drinker, and I don't like to mix a lot of drinks
Yeah.
because then I feel like shit.
Oh yeah, well that's because you're drinking a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
mixing a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you're getting sick from drinking too much, it's either you've drank too much or you're just drinking like a lot of people are like, oh, margaritas make me sick. It's like, no,
The
you're
amount.
drinking the cheap stuff and it's like really sugary. It's like you.
Or if you have a ton of champagne and then you have wine,
Yeah.
you have shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good night,
been there.
But
bad
okay,
morning.
so you gotta stay hydrated. For every glass of wine that you have, you should have about 8 ounces of water.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Stay hydrated.
No, Miko's really,
really
really
good
good
about
about
that.
drinking water.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. I can tell you got nice skin.
Thank
I
you.
would say about 60% of the time I'm good about drinking
good.
water. Yeah, well, especially when I'm with you, because I was like, oh shit, that's right. Miko's drinking water.
Water,
Why do you drink
water
water?
drink,
Yeah.
water break.
But so when
Actually,
we
we
were
had
in New
any
York a
water.
couple weeks ago, we would be at these restaurants, and I'm telling you, you would take one sip of your water, and someone would become like coming up behind you and filling your glass. Right? I was never dehydrated. Then you fast forward, and we were at this wine dinner, and we couldn't get a server to come over to fill our water to save our lives, and we're all just sitting there like. And I mean, it's lovely because we're drinking like beautiful wine because that's what's like
Yeah.
on showcase there, right? But at the same time, we've also convinced them to give us extra wine. So we need the extra
Yeah.
water, and we're eating this really heavy food to
And then
match
we
the
have to drive
wine.
home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's practically torture at that point.
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
You
like-
need some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if you've ever read the book Wine Folly, have you ever read that book? So if you like wine, check it out.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's a James Beard Award-winning book about wine and like the body of wine and the grapes, and it breaks down a lot of
Folly?
Yeah, Wine
Okay.
Folly. It's a really good book. But even then, if you read that, it'll even tell you need to have like the 8 ounces of water
In
and stuff. So,
between.
yeah, the professionals. So I'm not just making that up. I'm not
Yeah.
that's not just one of my rules.
Well, most of the professionals that taste don't even really drink it. They swirl it.
Yeah.
And then they spit it out.
So
Of course.
wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, that's me. Like,
I know it.
I once went to a wine tasting, business wine tasting where you're trying about 300 different wines, right?
Yeah.
So you're
you can't
drinking,
drink it all.
spitting.
That's different, and you're
But-
trying to make sure that it's good.
Yeah.
To, like,
But I was
and
with
everything.
somebody who was a little bit new to the game, and
Yeah.
she kept just like, dude, this is good. And then after
Pounding
a while, the white dress she wore was covered in like dripping from wine that she's just because she's getting pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
No, my sister-in-law bought me this amazing book. It's about Broadway cocktails and story about like every Broadway show, and there's always booze
Yeah.
there, and then like the drink that was inspired to be like served at the show. It's great. It's like an amazing coffee table book. So,
Nice.
but you're making. I would look at the recipes and I go, no, I'm not going to make that. But you're kind of inspiring me right now.
There you
Mitch.
go.
See, if I'm one thing, I'm hoping it's inspiration.
You are.
So what
Okay.
we're gonna do here is, so usually with a martini, the template is gonna be like 2 to 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna do, 2 parts vodka, 1 part vermouth.
Okay.
I think that's too heavy on the vermouth.
Yep.
Especially with this palate. So we're gonna dial that down.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do instead of 1 full ounce of vermouth, we're gonna do half an ounce, but we're also gonna do a half an ounce of the olive brine.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
I love olives.
So we're gonna do half ounce, but since we're doing math here for the kids at home,
Yes.
we're gonna do half ounce plus a half ounce is full ounce.
Full
Yeah,
ounce.
yeah. I don't-
Okay, so
I'm not trying to trip you up here.
I don't mean I didn't bring my calculator. I didn't know we were going to math class.
Like I said, Bill Nye. We're doing science and math. So we're gonna do. Remember, we're starting with the cheapest first.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So this is gonna be the olive brine, and
Okay, so when I was at the store,
Yeah.
they had olives that were in vermouth, but then I was like, what if I don't like that vermouth?
yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
Yeah, because
yeah.
usually if you're doing something like that, you're working with like stuff that's not good.
Yeah.
Like why would you take a good vermouth and already put stuff in it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
Like, so that's why I don't like a lot of flavor.
And I didn't know that vermouth was a wine.
Yeah.
Like it goes bad, people. Like you can't leave it like out on your counter. I
Yeah.
did not know
We
that.
discovered this the other night when
Yes.
we were at your place.
because
Yeah.
Mitch is the master.
Yeah.
Well, because like usually when people tell me like I hate martinis, I hate vermouth,
Mm-hmm.
it's because it is a wine. It goes bad. If you open it up, you got about a week of it on the shelf, a month if you put it in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, then once you open that vermouth,
We're
I
gonna- we're
better
gonna
get
start
to my
drinking.
martini drinking on.
I will- there's other stuff you can use too, like the chrysanthemum is another vermouth based
Okay.
cocktail where it's actually vermouth is the base spirit.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice and refreshing. nice-
Chrysanthemum, like
Yeah,
the flower?
Like the flower. Yeah. So it's gonna be vermouth, Dom Benedictine, and some orange bitters. It's gonna be stirred. So once you start acquiring the taste for vermouth, I'm gonna start making those for you. I think you'll
Okay.
like it.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it.
All
Yeah.
right. So we have got the brine.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now we are opening
Yes.
the Martini and Rossi
Yeah.
dry
Spumante.
vermouth.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, this is a very old company too. Like,
Yeah.
This is
No,
they've
that's like
been
a
around
Christmas
forever.
commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, we know.
AMS.
That's how we know
What
that
is
this
it?
is a.
ASMR. So dry vermouth.
Yeah.
Okay. As
And-
opposed to what?
Well, you have
Wet.
sweet-
Wet? Yeah.
You have the dry and the wet vermouths. Can I get a wet
Yeah.
vermouth? So this is gonna be. I'm gonna put that 1 ounce in there
Okay.
now. So you have like sweet vermouth, and you have different
Oh, got it.
aromatized wines and fortified wines as well, which kind of go in between those.
Okay.
So in some, for example, this is Italian vermouth as
Okay.
opposed to French vermouth, which is usually sweet. So it depends on where
Okay.
it's made.
Okay.
Depends on what they call it, especially in the old school books. That you're reading back in the old bartenders
Sure.
in the olden days, they'll say like Italian vermouth. So if you're reading, a cocktail book from like the late 1800s, that's what they mean.
So when
Okay.
I order this drink at a bar this weekend,
Yes.
should I specify what kind of vermouth I want?
If you order, they'll use, if the bartender knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
they're going to use a dry vermouth.
Okay.
Right.
That's just the automatic.
That's
the standard.
automatic. That's the standard, but there's lingo to this, right?
Okay.
So you want to know whether or not that it's going to be like dry. If you say, I want martini, I want it dry, I want it up.
Extra dry. I've heard
Extra dry. So extra dry is like no vermouth, which you would think extra dry would mean extra dry vermouth.
Extra.
But the more dry, the less vermouth.
Okay.
So if you want it wet, you're loading that baby up with vermouth.
Okay.
Got it. And now I know my lingo.
Yeah.
I'll act like I
What-
drink
What you
them all the
want,
time.
because that way, because sometimes like somebody will order, and I'll be like,
Martini.
do you want that
vodka
up?
martini,
Do you want that
extra dry.
What do you want that? They're like, I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah. And then dirtier the better, more brine.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, and now we are going to use our
Tito's.
Tito's. Yeah. So this is obviously a very good price point. You know, a very easy drinking vodka. Like,
And for the
gluten-free.
gluten-free lady.
and the gluten free. But you know, most spirits.
Don't tell me that it's been distilled and it's gluten-free, because my feet and my hands will tell you very,
Okay.
very different. So,
Yeah.
no, we can fight on it. It's
No,
okay.
no. I was just thinking about your feet and hands actually just being like, I want to say, like, I was just imagining like Nutty Professor
Literally, my feet,
just
I
going.
have Frodo
like,
Baggins feet.
yeah,
They
yeah.
get so inflamed and so like just big and like puffy, and my hands like to the point that I can't even like close my fists. And then I'll get like really blotchy and everything on my neck. It's not going to
Okay.
affect my stomach. It's more of just like an
Your hands
allergic
and feet.
reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you ever bring me back on here, can we try that again next time? Can that be the
No,
thing? To see
not
which
unless
one?
we're making money on Feet Finder, because I do not prefer that feeling in my feet, because it actually becomes painful to walk.
What is
on them.
Feet Finder?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I didn't know-
No,
It's like OnlyFans.
I know
It's like
OnlyFans,
It's
but
OnlyFans for feet.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You can make extra money.
I don't know
mean,
how we know
some,
this.
you know, you want
man.
a new bag? Just sell some feet pics.
That's true.
All right. That's
Work the
After-
numbers backwards, girls.
after a couple of these, we will go into our. All right. So, like I said, we're doubling everything up now.
Yes,
Now we're
okay.
gonna get to the vodka. So we've done the vermouth.
Yeah.
We've done the olive brine. Now we're gonna do the vodka, which is gonna be a total of 4 ounces because we're doubling it up.
Woo. It's a party, people.
Yeah. And there's different ways too. Like
Yeah.
I'm using the pinky for balance. You know, not to be extra fancy.
No,
It's
I think you're just
it's
pretty
just
fancy.
it's just, you know, for but like a lot of bartenders will try to hold it like this and rotate. But for me, you know, my wrist doesn't want to bend that way, so I just
Okay.
do what is
Sure.
Okay.
easier. So always do what's comfortable for you. Don't try to necessarily, you know.
I will never get that fancy.
Okay, you say that, but I believe in you.
Um,
So
You've gotten pretty good at making an espresso martini.
I can do that. Yeah. Oh, so are we going to do espresso martinis at Vito ever? I know you're
Not in the
particular
near
with
future.
the espresso.
Yeah.
But what if I bring my own espresso? Katie will bring her black salt. I'll bring my espresso.
So legally speaking, we can't allow outside food or drink if we're serving it with a food license. You know, they frown upon that.
Oh,
By they, I
really?
mean the health department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if
and
they're not being inspected.
Well, what if we
Right.
just like wink?
yeah, wink here.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
like,
Mitch,
yeah.
I found this at the end of the bar.
Yeah, as you're all drinking espresso martinis and everybody else is like, where did they get that from? Like, don't worry about
Like,
it.
I pull out a bag of
Ninja.
Tim Hortons whole
Yeah.
beans so
Yeah.
that we can put them on top.
None of your business.
All right.
Nothing to see here.
You're pulling it out of your sock in a
Yeah.
flask, you know. All right, so now we're gonna add ice. Remember, ice last, because that whole time we were talking, there would have been ice in there.
Oh,
This would have been watered down.
So
Ice
diluted.
glass.
would've been-
That's my
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that way, now we're gonna add this in. A lot of times you're gonna use like a mixing glass.
Yes.
But we're not that bougie, and
Okay.
I don't personally think it makes too much of a difference. So we're just gonna go with this.
Why the glass?
Why the
so you can
glass?
see it?
Well, because we're
Well,
not James Bond.
because you can
we like
see
our
it.
stirred.
Stirred.
But-
Shaken.
yeah. So this is.
Wait,
we're not
stirred
gonna.
or shaken?
We're gonna. Oh no.
No,
we're gonna
we
stir it. We're
stir
gonna stir
a
it.
dirty martini.
Yeah.
James Bond is a shaken guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in James Bond, I mean,
He didn't know what he was
ordering
doing.
it wrong. He doesn't know what he's doing. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
Okay.
good spy, I guess. But I don't know if you're a good spy for
He's
introducing
not.
your name and using
Yeah.
your real name as a spy.
Did
Yeah.
you see
But-
who's going to be the next James Bond?
No,
Possibly. Theo James.
Then I will watch that.
Yeah, I will. Yes, 007.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I like myself some Theo James.
He's hot.
Speaking
But-
of shows, have you been watching shoot, I thought I wrote it down. Chris, what is that show that we watch with Zero Day?
No.
0 Days on Netflix. It's brand new.
Okay, is it a
It's
series or a show?
So It is a series, but this was the best. At home last night, Chris
Do
was
you want to
like,
taste the spoon? Do you want to get a little?
Okay.
Chris
I
was
can do
like,
that.
I'm going to watch this movie. And I go, oh, it's Zero Day. It's a series. He's like, no, it's a movie. And I'm like, meh, it's a series. He goes, look at it. And I go, oh, you mean where it says Netflix series?
Episode 1 of 10.
He's like, no. And he presses it. There's 6 episodes.
Is it good?
It's so good. So 0 Day is when all electronics and everything shut off. Everything shut off for a period of time in one day.
Okay.
So obviously, like, planes crashed, trains, everything just shut down. So it was catastrophic. But then it goes to 0 day plus 1, 0 day plus 2.
Was it a mistake?
You don't know.
Oh.
And they're like, is it the Russians? Like the whole thing.
It's always the
So-
Russians.
So, I don't know.
Alright.
I'll let you know. It's really, really good. Robert De Niro's in it. And do you know that he had a restaurant in New York City for over 30 years and it's closing this month?
No.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's not there?
No, I guess the restaurant business
Okay.
just isn't what it used to be.
Well, I mean, restaurant
Here,
business is
can
a
I bother you to put this over here?
very
Sorry,
tricky
before we cheers.
industry.
It is 80% failure rate in the
Oh,
first year.
absolutely.
But to go for 30 years, I mean,
Yeah, I
something
mean,
to be
that's
said. And
impressive.
Tribeca, cheers.
Thanks, Mitch.
You're welcome.
That is
Oh,
good.
that's good.
Like that?
That's really
That's
good.
good. That's dangerous good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I try dangerous like James Bond, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we were mentioning though is the reason that you don't shake these is because if you're making a drink that's all spirits, you essentially want to stir it.
Okay.
As otherwise you'll bruise it, which adds more air and more water to it, as opposed to how we slowly dilute it.
Making it less powerful.
No, it just changes the
Flavor?
the flavor and the feel of it.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you have, for example, citrus or egg or cream, that's when you want to shake it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I forgot to mention too, like when you little life hack on stirring
Yes.
your stuff here. So what you do is when you have it in here, and usually you have the mixing glass because it's thicker.
Yeah.
You're not
Oh,
having
right.
that heat escape. But I like to kind of feel how cold it's getting. So this little part right here,
Mm-hmm.
the back of the spoon, you always want to keep
Back of the spoon.
back
to
of
the
the
cup.
spoon on the cup. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm holding it between these two fingers, kind of like a
Chopstick.
like I've got like Ninja Turtle hands.
Turtle.
Yeah. And
Like your Spock.
Yeah, and you want to pretend like there's a imaginary line going straight up that this is rotating around that axis of. And you do that.
What if you're poor and you use a regular spoon at home?
Oh, then you're not going to have. You can't. This is like $4 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Just being facetious.
Yeah, but no, if you are poor at home and you really want to make your martinis,
Right.
You know, and you can't afford the
Your
spoon.
extra dry.
Yeah. You can
Dirty
still
martini,
you can still
but I'm
stir it.
poor.
So that's
Like-
one of my questions, right? So someone moves into their first apartment or
Okay.
house and they are having a party.
Yes.
And they're like, I need the basic bartender tools because
Yeah.
I'm making, a couple of drinks for my friends.
Okay.
So what do you have to have?
Well, this depends.
Staples.
Is this apartment decorated yet?
Oh, touche, touche.
I would say what I've got in front of you are essentially.
They're trying. They're trying.
Essentially the tools that you need. That's why I wanted to do these drinks here.
Yeah.
Is because these are going to be like the tools I recommend that you can start off the most
Yep.
basic. So like I said, you want your Hawthorne strainer.
Yes.
You want your.
And so everybody
cocktail
knows the Hawthorne
shakers.
strainer is like the springy thing that
The
you put on
springy
top
thing.
of, like, yeah.
And you can tell this is a cheaper one as opposed to like you see the spring here.
Everybody loves a slinky.
Yeah. And then you have a little bit more advanced one, which is covered in egg froth. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word, like egg gunk, But
Yes. That's okay.
yeah, so you get the spring that helps hold that as opposed to the cobble shakers. So I recommend buying it separately instead of buying the little kits. Like, I'm going to buy a shaking
yeah.
kit.
Okay.
Which it seems very easy, but those tools you'll realize aren't as good to use and they'll feel a little bit, the more cocktails you make for your friends, they'll stick more. They're not going to be
Okay.
as good. Whereas like these ones, you get the heavier bottoms too on the Boston shakers. So yeah, your Boston style shakers.
Need 2 sizes.
No, this is a one set.
Oh, it
So, yeah, they go
is.
together. Yeah, this is a couple.
Okay.
This is these.
I thought we had to go to Amazon and go.
No, you
Add to cart,
luckily
add to cart.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna have to do like the full bartender set, like both sizes of the
Right.
Boston shaker. Because I have a
Yeah.
set from Amazon that has like the little capper top,
Okay,
right,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
shake.
Yeah,
yeah,
like the little
same.
cobbler one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna like go online, your best thing to Google or Bing, whatever search engine
Yeah,
you use.
uh-huh.
You're gonna.
Bing.
I know, right?
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. When you're like,
Hotmail.
right. As you're using,
Fatballs.com. Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna look for like 10 on 10 or metal
Okay.
on metal Boston shakers.
Got it.
So you want that.
Okay.
You want your Hawthorne strainers, and then you're gonna want a bar spoon, mixing spoon,
spoon.
and then
Okay.
Japanese style jigger.
Japanese
You don't. It
style
doesn't have to
jigger.
be Japanese. That's just what I recommend. If you're
Like I have a baby jigger.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do
I mean, it's
too.
gonna work, and the reason I say that is it's like everybody can guess what you're pouring, but you really don't.
I like
know
how
unless-
it has the measurements inside.
Yeah,
Yes,
'cause
Mine
that's pretty
doesn't.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah. The baby jigger, you're supposed to take it to the top.
Yeah. So this is 1 ounce, 2 ounce. If you're
Okay.
European, this is 30 milliliters, 60 milliliters.
I am not.
Not.
But yeah.
Just, yeah. And yeah, so these are the tools that I really recommend. And then from there, getting little bottles like this, so you can make your own
Yeah.
little syrups.
Yeah, that's
and then this will be good in
Dubs
the
as a
fridge
salad
for,
dressing.
Yeah,
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this pancakes.
Actually, you could mix that with some oil and vinegar and probably have a great little pomegranate dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a little sweet, but it'd be okay because you would just use small parts of it.
Oh, for sure. Ice cream.
Look at this.
If you got a
Yeah.
little bit of vanilla ice cream, and you're like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do?
Right.
Just a little bit and just
We did a late night drive to Target last night because everybody was craving ice cream.
Oh
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a smoker years ago.
Yeah.
And when I quit smoking, like I just needed that like sensation.
Yeah.
And I just got really big into ice cream
Did you get fat?
and pistachios. Oh yeah. And it was also when my wife was pregnant.
Oh,
So
Oh, so you were doing it together.
yeah. And well, she ate healthy the whole time.
Oh, really?
She's like, she used to run marathons.
Yeah.
So she's like very into nutrition and health. Like she didn't have. I was waiting
Plays
for the.
instruments.
she sounds like
Yeah.
a unicorn.
She pretty much is. Like I mean, and she proposed to me.
What?
Right? I know, right? Yeah.
I need to meet this mysterious
Yes, we've
woman.
known Mitch for a long time. We've yet to meet this mystery.
She doesn't actually exist. I'm just
mystery
making
woman.
her up. Like just
He
making up
keeps-
this perfect woman.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he keeps
yeah.
making up these wonderful things. She's a 10.
Yeah.
She has zero body
I wouldn't
fat.
say she's a 10. It's like 9.5. You know
Oh
what
my
I
God.
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
it's-
whatever. She's
Yeah.
got a flaw.
But she
Okay.
didn't have like any weird cravings. Like she craved a chicken sandwich once from Culver's. That's it. I was like waiting for like all the weird stuff. But that's the only thing she
nice.
craved. But I gained almost as much weight as she did. She only gained 4 more pounds than me during the pregnancy.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the guy tends to gain weight with you.
Yes, that happened
Yeah.
in my household.
Same.
And,
And I looked like Grimace.
oh yeah,
Isn't that
it was one of those things where I was just like, oh no, I'm gonna have to buy a whole new wardrobe because everything was getting like too tight.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what you know.
luckily I discovered my love for kale.
Oh,
And
that'll do
That's
it.
an interesting love, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I like kale.
I wouldn't say I love it.
Okay.
I was using that word.
Okay,
yeah,
loosely?
Very,
Yeah.
very.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, Meko, what was your favorite drink that we had today?
This one.
Ooh, yes.
This is going to be my drink when I go to see you at Vito,
Nice.
rather than just cranking
Wine.
open the quilt.
So I'm going to tell you this. When you go to Park City and you order this, I want you to know that this is the equivalent of having like 4 glasses of wine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I do realize that.
I
It's
don't-
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want, anybody to have to like,
And plus
Kimber to
the-
have to like throw you over her shoulder. And,
Well,
like,
and
walk
plus
you
the
back.
altitude,
Yeah.
which always
gotta watch-
cranks it.
you gotta watch
Yeah, it
altitude.
always cranks it. Yeah.
But another fun thing. So these are 3 olives, right? And what started that is, so each olive is supposed to be for each sip it takes to drink this. It's supposed to be like 3 gulps and you're done.
No.
Like I said, it's
What?
old school. That's back when America they were all severe alcoholics.
Alcoholics.
Yeah. So I don't recommend that now, but
3
just
gulps.
no.
yeah. You were supposed to drink this in like 3 gulps. Like
And then you're like, okay,
olive,
let's start the
gulp.
meeting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Have you seen the bar tab for our founding fathers
No.
after they like signed the Declaration?
That's why the Declaration's so fucked up.
Oh yeah. I mean they're all
They're all hammered.
they're all young. They're like mid-20s, all just drunk. You know.
Let's
was the
declare
bar-
a
Yeah,
free country.
You know when you get drunk and declare independence.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your tips for a good mocktail?
For a good mocktail, you want to have like good flavor and good body.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times I'll be disappointed when I go to a bar and they have mocktails on the menu and I feel like I'm just drinking cranberry juice and soda water and I'm like,
Yeah.
did you guys even try?
Yeah.
Right.
Just really light. So I like to play with flavors and figure out where you can put in more spices. That way you want to feel a little bit of a burn, almost like you're drinking a cocktail.
Right.
Yeah. Without the
and
alcohol.
you want that body, so you want to make sure that it's got some viscosity to it,
Okay.
and to a certain degree.
What's your code word if someone says, okay, we need 20 shots? All my friends are here. I don't want a shot. I want a shot of water.
Yeah.
What do you say? Like, what's
Well-
the code word for like,
well-
I need 19 real shots and one with water?
So usually I try to encourage that person, like, just be yourself, man. Just say no. Just say no, drink the water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and usually sometimes I'll like, if that's the case and I can tell they're trying to get that, like, they don't seem like they want to drink, you know what I mean? I don't like
Yeah.
to force that onto people, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But otherwise, a lot of times if it's on the down low, I'll just like, someone's like, I don't want one. I'll just be like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, you know? And which leads to the moral dilemma of, do you charge them the full 20 even they give them water, or do you charge them 19 and have them like try to think like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
So then that leads to discretion of like, you know, why you want to be cool to the bartender, because that's
Yeah.
the kind of power that you have. Like, haha, am I going to charge him $10 for water?
Right.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I would actually pay you $10 to not give me a shot, a certain shot.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So that's like a $20 profit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the three white.
charge them. That's just horrible.
What is that? Jack, Jim.
Jim.
And I think Jose, right? I can't remember.
Are they
like,
mixed?
Yeah, it's in a shot glass.
What do you-
all
I mean,
three.
I like that
That
was
sounds
like
suicide.
I think I had it on my 21st.
yeah, I was gonna say that was like
birthday, and
very
that's
years
the only
ago.
time I ever had it.
Yeah, my 21st birthday, I had like over 21 shots within like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Did
Yeah.
you?
No, I did
Did
not.
you go into coma?
No, but I woke up in the morning in the basement using like the rug as a
Barf bag.
no, it's like my
blanket.
blanket.
Oh.
I had like this throw rug, and I'm like, I had basement no pillow or anything. It was like cigarette
But
burn
the-
on my arm, not knowing how I got there.
But the basement floor is probably nice and cold for you.
It was. I mean, that's probably why I chose it. I don't know. Like, yeah, that was.
Ouch. Yeah.
You know, that was only a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah, 21. I was.
Same.
Yeah.
If you enjoy our banter as much as we do, show us some love. Like, rate, follow, and share us with your soul sisters, your friends, acquaintances, random strangers on the street, your mortal enemy, and your family. And hey, tell us what you want our next episode to be about. It's like it's girls' night, but it's for all of us. Cheers to laughter, insights, and moments that matter. Let's keep this party going.
So I have some questions.
Yeah,
both
no,
can
do you
answer.
have questions?
question.
Okay,
do we have
time?
Question round. Yeah.
All right. So I
Meko,
have
we
questions.
always have time.
Questions for both of you, then you can answer. Okay, so last night, I have to start this premise by saying last night I watched Shawshank Redemption for the very first time in my entire
First
We
life.
time.
talked about this when we were at the bar.
Last
I've
night?
never seen it
Last
until
night.
last night. And so Randy said, okay, we are watching Shawshank tonight.
And you loved it,
And
didn't
I
you?
loved it.
Yes.
I loved it. So I was like, how
And
did I
did
wait
you,
this
friend?
many years to not see it? Anyway, so,
Yeah.
which brings me to my questions.
Oh.
What is your favorite friendship movie? Because I think that was a friendship movie.
That is a very good
Okay.
friendship
Yeah.
movie.
What is your favorite friendship movie?
Friendship movie. I don't know. It's hard. Like, if I have to think off the top of my head, and I'd have to say maybe Step Brothers.
That's
First
great.
thing I
That's
thought
great.
of off the top
That's
of my
great.
head.
That's great.
Without
Mine
overthinking
is
it.
fried green tomatoes.
Oh, that's
That's
good.
really good.
That's good.
That is my favorite friendship movie. My favorite friendship as a team. Remember the Titans, because that's my all-time favorite movie.
Okay.
But
That's
yes.
your all-time favorite.
Yeah, but yes, fried green tomatoes is my
Okay.
favorite friendship.
It's a
movie.
solid movie.
That's a solid movie.
And, yeah.
Mine's Beaches.
Oh,
Beaches?
that's that. I remember sobbing
Sobbing.
in that movie as a kid.
Okay, what is your favorite rom-com?
Ooh, my favorite rom-com. Does like a Hughes movie count? Yeah, I'm gonna say 16 Candles.
Okay.
I probably
Okay.
I wore that VHS tape out.
Okay.
16 Candles.
That's a good one. Let's see, rom-com. Oh man, it's hard. I would have to say it mixes also with Christmas here.
Okay.
Family Stone.
Oh, I love the Family Stone.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
'Cause it
I've
feels-
only seen that
SJP.
one time.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've only seen
plays
it
a total
once.
bitch.
I thought.
Right,
I
right.
thought
Like
you
the
were gonna say
uptight.
Love Actually. but-
Love. Well, that is a good
that's
one.
so good.
That's a good one. I mean, I like that. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But Family Stone, I feel like because it's like solid and kind of holds up. Like whereas
Yeah.
it's got that good humor. You
I
got
mean,
that
she
like.
did steal the boyfriend's
brother. I mean,
Yeah.
as
If you can get past that.
As one does.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're gonna find out
exactly.
Love Is Blind if it
Yeah.
happens.
Right?
You know.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite on-screen couple?
On screen.
Like a couple that was in a movie together
Yeah.
and you loved them. It could be a pair of friends. It could be a couple. It could
Yeah.
be.
I mean, off the top of my head, I just have to say like, I don't know, like The Notebook. You know, with
yeah.
with Ryan Gosling
Okay.
and
Yes.
Rachel Adams.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but as the old couple. You know, after you know when they're just like
Look
all
at
nice
you
and
being
old.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
I mean, because
Sentimental.
it's yeah.
When she
Yeah.
has her moments of lucidity and
Yeah.
she can remember.
And just
Yeah.
like his.
and he keeps trying.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that's
He doesn't
what
give
it is,
up.
the
You know what I
trying.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
And then they died together.
Yeah, yeah, which is like it's
I forgot about
ridiculous,
that.
but
Yeah.
like sad. And every time I see it, I'm just like, I'm not crying.
Yeah.
You're crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's yours?
Mine would be Matthew McConaughey and why can't I think of her name? Kate.
Hudson?
Yes. In
How to Lose a
The
Guy in 10 Days.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is, do you remember My Girl?
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 The little boy and the little girl,
That's-
and they were
Before he
best
got
friends
stung.
before he
Right.
got stung to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the girl's name.
She's been in tons of stuff.
Okay.
You would know her now. Oh, you know what she was in? The Veep.
Veep?
She is his
You know,
secretary.
I never watched.
Oh my
Veep.
God, it's
Chris
so
loved
good.
it. I
It's
never
so good.
watched Veep.
Yeah.
She's like the oh my God, what is her role? Not the press secretary. She's like the admin for her.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, what's your okay, what would you prefer in a movie? Action, romance, or drama?
I don't know. I think it depends on the mood. Usually, I tend to go for just
I forgot
Maybe-
comedy. That's another
comedy.
category.
Yeah, but usually the kind of movies I tend to watch, I really like more of like the having to really figure it out and think about
Like
what's
a
going
thriller.
on. Like a good thriller.
okay.
Or like a really good, something
Okay.
that just kind of makes you think and
And
you
you're like,
just have to
I
be
think you
kind
have
of
it
invested.
resolved, and then you
So,
really
Right,
don't.
yeah.
you know what's really rough is when you really like a movie from when you were younger. Like
Mm.
I used to think Sleeping with the Enemy was like a
Oh,
good thriller
right.
movie. Watch it again with your kid, and you will realize Julia Roberts says like 9 words through the whole movie. It's choppy.
Yeah.
And the guy's just a little like odd and creepy. It's not that mind fuck thriller that it was when, I don't know, when it came out mid 90s.
Well,
Yeah.
I think because the formula has changed. Now you're getting used to all these better ones because they have to
Yeah.
keep like
Stuff
changing-
doesn't stick. Like good things like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Still kicks.
Yeah.
Like it does.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck.
Okay.
Nope.
Really?
Okay.
No, and I loved Uncle Buck. And I watched it with Kylie and I go, I feel like they just go, we're just going to chop this whole section out. We're not going to redo a scene or anything. We're just gluing it back together. It's a different watch.
I love Uncle Buck.
I
Okay.
know,
I
me
haven't seen it in
too.
forever.
But The Great Outdoors still sticks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Uncle Roman, my favorite. Mm-hmm. That reminds me of my Uncle Mark.
Fake
Uncle Roman.
Rolex watch. So Shawshank Redemption. I
Okay.
can't believe how old it is and how I have never seen it.
No,
I don't know
it's
why.
such a
that is such.
classic.
And the funny thing is, you said that yesterday I referenced that movie.
Did you?
Yeah. We went out to eat at Cafe Zinc,
Oh, very nice.
and they have the chalkboard.
Yep.
And as we're getting ready to leave, I had my hat hanging up there as one
Mm-hmm.
one does.
As you do.
And did you frame?
No, I didn't, but I grabbed it, and my wife, the unicorn, the
Yes.
9 out of 10, 0.5. She's like, oh, I'm so tempted to just grab like the chalk and write something. I'm like, do it right. Brooks was here,
Oh!
right? And
Oh, but that was bad. 'cause
No,
Brooks-
I know.
I know,
but-
right? Yeah. But then it took her a second. She
But
goes,
if
"That
you
is
know,
Shawshank."
you
Say
know.
Red was here.
Yeah.
But now you know that reference. Yeah.
Oh, but he was such a sweet old man. And then to just be in prison for so long and be like, there wasn't cars like when he went into prison.
Right,
and
yeah.
everything, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a really great movie.
Have you seen The Green Mile? Okay. So I put those two like in the same category.
Yeah.
Where they're long,
Yeah.
but you don't realize how long
Yeah.
they are. And you
The Green Mile was great. Too.
Yeah.
I saw that a long
Because
time
each
ago.
step of the movie is like rewarding.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
the character development. You know,
Yep.
it's not just filling it full of like Michael Bay explosions.
Right.
Yes.
You know.
You know what's really good? That's recently on, I think it's on Apple, is The Gorge.
I know you were saying
It's
that.
really
Yes.
good.
I don't have
And
Apple.
I haven't seen a good movie in a very long time.
So I'm typically
Okay.
not a sci-fi person.
Okay.
It's not really, well, it is a little bit, but it's more
Or
than
like
that. It's beyond.
is it dystopian? Yeah, like that's just not my jam. And Chris was watching it, and I think maybe the initial explanation, I was like, nope. Miles Teller,
Yes.
kind of like, okay, maybe.
Miles Teller shirtless? Yes.
Okay, well, you know, we're adding to the tick list of why I should watch this movie.
Yeah. And
No,
also, Anna, what's her name?
the chick from
Anna
the Queen's Gambit. She's
Joy
brilliant.
Taylor Joy. Joy Taylor.
I don't know her name. I know
Yeah.
it's the
She has 3
Queen's
names.
Gambit.
Yeah.
Queen's,
That was a
Queen's
good
Gambit.
series.
Yeah.
That was a
good.
Yeah.
great
But she plays a
series.
great part in it too.
Yeah.
And it is action. It's kind of has it all. It's like rom-com-ish because they're funny parts.
Yeah.
And action, drama, and a mystery.
Okay. Have either of you ever seen The Never-Ending Story?
A long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the
it's-
boy rides a dinosaur.
No, it's a horse. And
Oh.
he gets stuck in like quicksand. But the way that the gorge is, like on the thing, there's like these 2 pillars, and it just reminds me of like the 2 stone angels that stare at each other. So I feel like this sometimes shows like the little bit of the age gap where you're just a little bit older, you're a little bit younger, but my little age group watched the crap out of The Never-Ending Story.
See,
Like I
I-
watched it
Like in
1,000
high
times.
school?
No, like as I was 7.
Okay.
I was gonna say that like I was probably about 7 the last time I saw that movie.
Yes.
Like back.
But you're not even 40.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You're a
Not
baby.
even. Not even close.
Yeah, you're a
Really?
baby.
Nah, man.
33,
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
30.
No, I'll be 38 in a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, cheers, Mitch.
Cheers. Thank you,
Thanks
Mitch.
for coming on. Listen,
to
here's
my
the
new
thing.
favorite drink.
Thank you. What was your favorite though? I was waiting with it.
She
what?
said it was this.
No. The movies.
Oh.
You romance.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like.
I'm with you when it
No.
comes to mood.
Mood?
So
Okay.
depends on what you want. Like, do you want to pick me up comedy?
Mm.
Do you want a mystery? Do you want a thriller? I mean, probably most times thriller, just because I need to solve the puzzle.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just don't want something to life suck you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Sometimes you just
do
don't wanna
need, like
think.
the Happy Gilmores of
Thus,
the world.
Bravo TV
Especially after having
Yes.
lips filled. You don't want life sucking after.
or sucking.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't use
Yeah.
a straw.
Yeah.
You can't give a blowjob. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you learned something from us.
And this is so great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Now
we
I
learned
now I
something
now
from
I
you.
know. Like.
Yep.
Awesome. Cheers.
See you next week.